Wednesday means one day closer to hopefully eligibility court cases in the NCAA being done. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly. Dennis Cox producing the show. And we start the show the same way we do every single day with the Big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
The Big 3 at 3 presented by Maynard Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. If you need any work done in your house in any of those categories, trust the experts. MaynardServices.com. MAYNOR Services.com. The Carolina Panthers had a joint practice with the Houston Texans today. Fastball look. That's what they want out of these joint practices. Dave Canales has said he and D'Amico Ryans, the head coach for the Texans, came into these joint practices with the intention, with the idea being they are going to get after it in the joint practices. There's a good chance you will not see the starters in the preseason game because the ammunition is going to be used up in the joint practices. You want to be tested. You want to see how your team responds. So let's hear from Dave Canales. This is how the head coach, after today's joint practice, summed up the entirety of the day.
In 2 words, Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson. I think that's 4 words, actually. But those guys are fantastic players. That's exactly what we need to see. Monroe needs it. Rashid needs it. When we dropped back today, we couldn't really do much other than Bryce extending and getting a couple of plays going. The rush was phenomenal. And that's exactly, just the information we need to be able to regroup. The run game was fine. I can't wait to go see the defensive side. Heard reports, some good, some bad, but all in all, a physical practice. Nothing crazy popped off with the guys. A couple of little extra physical plays. The guys handled it well, got right back to work, and so I was really proud of that.
Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson. Monroe Freeling is a rookie, and he's looked good, okay? And Rasheed Walker is a trusted veteran, steady Eddie, and he's looked good. But there is an element of the Chrysler 300 looks like the Bentley till the Bentley pulls up. Will Anderson is a different kind of athlete. He is a different kind of beast. And Danielle Hunter is as productive as he's probably the most underrated edge rusher of the last 10 years. Because his name's not brought up with many of the people whose statistics look a lot like his. So yeah, that's what you wanted when you played Houston and you said you're going to ramp up the joint practice. You want your rookie who is a stud athlete to recognize, it's about more than being a stud athlete, isn't it? I am going to have to be on every part of my game, technique, mentals, physicals, everything, to take on somebody like Will Anderson. And do you know what's the best part about it? Everybody, ready? It's practice, so every time your rookie was learning a lesson the hard way, Bryce Young wasn't getting absolutely throttled in the backfield with blindside light-up hits. Because it's a practice, right? You go, whoa, whistle. Will, that was impressive.
Yeah, he's fast.
Let us get that one off. Monroe, yep, buckle up, chin strap, let's get rolling. It's why joint practices are valuable because your young tackle or even Rasheed Walker, your older tackle can learn those lessons over and over again, and you don't have a quarterback back there that's just going I'd like it if you learned them faster. Can we get a tight end chip over there? Something you get to control the environment a bit more. I'm going to say this a bunch of times today. Because I know we're going to overreact to the reports. I know we're going to overreact when beat writers are putting out play-by-play updates all the way through a joint practice. We're going to, right? Because it's all we have to go off of right now. Just remember this. The Houston Texans defense is a wagon. And it's a wagon going downhill. And it was a wagon going downhill last year. I would be more worried if it wasn't a more equal fight on the other field. I'd be more worried if it wasn't a more equal fight when the offense of the Houston Texans was on the field. It sounds like that, Jalen Phillips made their day difficult. And they had some, as you heard Dave Canales, he heard some ups and downs, some good, some bad. That's all there, and I'm okay with that. Obviously, you would love for the offense to compete with Houston's defense, but I just don't think they're ready yet. Right? It's like the JV guy that gets to go practice with the varsity at the end of the year. It's like, you know what? You're good. You're a future varsity player, but we're just going to tell someone who's a little bit more developed than you to beat you up for a little bit so you get back to the grindstone. I mean, Houston's defense might be the best in the NFL. Happens. That is number one. Let's get to number two.
Number two.
All right. So, in the latest edition of I have no idea what the courts are going to do with eligibility in college football daily and college sports daily, not just college football, although that's the one getting started now. The SEC has now joined the Big Ten, and the ACC is considering it in banning the professional players. And by professional players, the specifics range from anybody that signed a contract to those that declared for the draft and didn't appropriately withdraw to those that were on a professional roster to there's a whole bunch of ways that they define who a pro is. And those players, regardless of what the 2022 high school recruiting class had to go through, if you signed a pro contract or any of those other things I mentioned, you will not be welcome back in the SEC, according to the SEC. We'll see if it holds up in court, and I'm sure it will be tested. What I want to make sure we're all doing, I would like to make sure we all acknowledge that none of this makes sense. Okay? It's not what you can make sense of. It's what you can enforce and what you think will hold up in court. The Big Ten is by the way, Big Ten started all this, right? They were the first one to come out as a conference and ban the pros. They are allowing players that tried out for the NFL and didn't get invited to any official camps or mini camps and did not sign any contracts to return. There's a linebacker who transferred from James Madison to UCLA. He is going to be allowed to play for UCLA despite the fact that he tried to play in the NFL. So literally being just some percentage better than that guy, enough to be put on a roster for 2 weeks and then waived, makes you ineligible. But that guy trying out and not being good enough to be put on a roster for 2 weeks and waived makes it so he can play. So there's not some kind of big like altruistic, I want to protect the players that are on our rosters now from having these guys parachute in and take roster spots. That's not it. It's just they know there's more court cases involved moving forward, and they think they can prove this one. They think they can defend it. I'm wondering if it's not, and we'll have this conversation later on, but I'm wondering if it's not going to be eventually a huge competitive advantage to just have never entertained any of this. If players end up being ineligible and they can defend it in court and they will not be allowed to play, the schools that just from the very beginning said, I like my team, I'm rolling with my squad, I'm not entertaining any of these fifth years, is going to have so much more like chemistry built up. They're not going to have these guys coming into practice for a week. Now they're ineligible and can't be there. Now they're back and they can be. Now they're not. And they're just Duke, Wake Forest, some of these schools that have just said absolutely not to any of it. They've just been practicing, like a normal training camp. Could end up being a competitive advantage. That's number two. Let's hit number three.
Number three.
The Tour Championship starts tomorrow. 30 best golfers this season on the PGA Tour. That's right. They are all getting together for all the marbles. If you want to really make a jaw drop here, a normal purse, right? A traditional purse in PGA. In the past, it's been like $1 million something to the winner. In the last couple of years, they've boosted it a bunch. You're getting up to like $3 million plus, 3.5, maybe a 4.2.
Some little extra coin here.
Yeah, this one you're looking at. If you win, you're looking at $20+ million.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, that's different. That's a little bit different.
Yes. That's where you can become, one of the leading money winners on tour. in a weekend. Granted, if you've made it this far, you've already probably made a good amount of money. But it is big money. What I like to do, and this is just my own fun. When I'm watching the Tour Championship on Sunday, I like to have the payouts right there in front of me. How much you're going to get for first, how much you're going to get for second, how much you're going to get for third. And when a guy misses a putt to drop from like tied for second to tied for sixth, I like to go, how much did that 4-footer cost him? And watch his estimated earnings go from, 4.6 million to 2.2. And I'm like, there's a $2.4 million putt. Ha! Right, when we're playing our $10 money games with our friends, it's like, oh, that's a $30 putt because we each have $10 in, and you feel like a real jerk when you miss a shorty. I can't imagine the trembling hands. Here's a $750,000 putt. As far as local guys that are playing, I can give you some of the betting odds for him. Cameron Young played at Wake Forest. He has the 6th best betting odds to win the whole thing, plus 1,600. Ryan Gerard played at UNC, 19th best odds. Alex Smalley played at Duke, 26th best odds. And then Alex Fitzpatrick and Akshay Bhatia. Fitzpatrick played at Wake Forest. Akshay Bhatia lives in the area. He's a resident of the Triangle. They're tied for 28th best odds. Once you get down to like the late 20s, first of all, anybody can win this tournament. They're all good. But it's just an accomplishment, a career-advancing accomplishment for a few of those guys just to make the Tour Championship. Obviously, Cam Young, he's trying to win it. He's got the 6th best odds of the whole darn thing. And Scotty Scheffler, who has the best odds, apparently is battling hand-foot-mouth disease. Anyone that has kids, you hear of that and you tremble. I guess he's dealing with it. Normally, it's the kids that deal with that.
Yes, I don't think I've ever heard of an adult dealing with that, but all right.
He does have 2 small kids. I don't know, but he said he's getting over it. Blisters and stuff. Ugh. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the Big 3 at 3, presented by Maynard Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. Check them out online. MaynardServices.com. MAYNOR Services.com. The good, the bad, the ugly. What was real about the Panthers' joint practice with the Texans. Audio next.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Hey everyone, Dennis Cox here real quick from my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I know how difficult it can be as you get older in life to keep the weight off. As you get older, I'm 40 years old now, the metabolism, it slows down. It's more difficult to keep the weight down as well. But this is where Raleigh Weight Loss Center steps in to help you. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Here's the thing about Raleigh Weight Loss Center, and I've been with the program for over a year. I know how it can work. I've lost over 30 pounds thanks to the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center and have been able to keep that weight off. And here's the reason why. There's a plan for you to follow. It's easy to stick to. No injections, no shots, no steroids, no doing any sort of crazy fad diet. It's all about restarting your metabolism. That way your body can do the thing it can naturally do, which is burn weight, burn off fat. 919-897-7506. Or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up a free 15-minute phone consultation. Results may vary.
I love you. You gotta do better than that. I love you.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Joint practices. Carolina Panthers, Houston Texans. I've said it before. I think I trust it even more now. If you gave me the option to have a full, all-out, both coaches are aware we're getting after it joint practice or a preseason game, I think I'd take the joint practice. I think I'd take the joint practice for a few reasons. First of all, protect your quarterback. Any injuries to quarterbacks during the preseason feel so pointless, even though they're not. They just feel that way. Two, if one of your young players gets roasted, it's one thing to have beat reporters saying, hey, this guy kept getting beat. It's a whole other to have everybody watch it on TV and have the viral clips of screenshots of your young player getting roasted. But here's the funny part. I may want my young player to get roasted, right? I don't want him to be embarrassed, but I might want the best player on the other team to line up against him in every drill. I might want, when they go one-on-ones, to keep throwing my young rookie into the lion's den of the best player on the other team, because that's what it's going to look like on Sunday if he's going to play. If you're playing the Carolina Panthers right now in a real game, like let's say you're Chicago, let's say you're Cleveland, let's say you're Atlanta, let's say you're Detroit. These are the first four opponents. Where are you putting your best pass rusher? I'm putting him right in front of Monroe Freeling, and I'm saying, let's see if the rookie can stop it. Once he proves he can stop our best pass rusher, then we'll move him around, or we'll hit some game plan stuff. But there was a saying in college football when I played that freshmen don't wear jersey numbers; they wear bullseyes. Rookies don't wear jersey numbers; rookies wear bullseyes. You're going to have to prove that you can play. So he better be ready for the fastball look. He better be ready for 100 miles an hour from week one. And thus, he got Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter on a Houston Texans joint practice day when those two guys are fresh, they're healthy, and they were looking for blood. They smelled blood in the water, whatever your particular blood reference of choice is. Dave Canales called Monroe Freeling, in his experience today, a great learning experience. Let's go ahead and hear from the head coach of the Panthers.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, this is what he needs. This is what Monroe needs as he works his fundamentals, his technique, all the little different things. It just gets magnified when you play two rushers like this. And we didn't need the one-on-one pass rush. We got that in the natural flow of things. And so there's a lot of good tape to coach off of.
A great learning experience. If that's not the absolute Dave Canales way to talk about Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter ruining quite a few plays of full team reps. It's a great learning experience. It is. I actually agree with him this time. Sometimes I think his optimism is a little forced. I actually think that one's correct. Dave Canales was asked if Bryce Young was getting frustrated with the pressures continuously being put in his lap during this joint practice. Here's what Dave Canales said.
Days can get frustrating like that, and he and I kind of talked about it, 2 periods in with a little bit of football left to go in the practice, and just said, hey, look, there'll be days like this. We can make adjustments. We can use chip help. We can run the ball. We can throw quickly to manufacture, and we'll wait for those right moments because he's so opportunistic. When he finds those moments, he knows when he can take his shots and get those one-on-ones. And there'll be days like this, and you got to be patient. You got to move the ball, and you got to find those explosives when you can get them.
Mama told me there'd be days like this, but I never ever think there'd be a day like this. I actually think that's one of the best traits of Bryce Young. I think it's good to, you got to sharpen your strengths too, right? Strengthen your strengths. I think one of the best traits of Bryce Young, and maybe this is insulting to his physical abilities because it's not one of my favorite traits, but one of my favorite traits of Bryce Young is he does fight to the whistle. He's had some really, really, really rough games that end with a game-winning drive that he contributes to. And he will the frustration doesn't show. It might be the way to describe it. So if he is getting attacked by the edge rushers, attacked by the pass rushers, for a long practice, I do expect him to be opportunistic and find a play if he can. The question is, once he finds that play, can he make it? But I know that he's going to fight to the whistle, fight to the triple zeros on the scoreboard. And you just hope that everybody else on the field does as well. Let's go to Bryce. How about that one? Bryce Young spoke after the joint practice today on the performance, could call it a poor performance, by the offense today in joint practices. This is what he said.
They got after us. We have a lot of respect for them, really good unit, but we have to be better. We have to respond. I think it's going to be great for us as a process. We always try to be a process-oriented group. There's going to be a lot of great film out there to watch, a lot of stuff to grow from. All of us, myself included, there's a lot of great lessons out there. So, it's not fun on a day like this, but, that's a challenge for us now, making sure we're watching the film, know we can grow from it. And that's the game. That's the sport. They got after us today. I'm super excited and grateful to be part of this offense.
We won't have an answer to this. We will get it during the season at some point. What I want to know is, were they getting lit up because of things you can fix? Or were they getting lit up because you're just getting physically beaten? Right? There's one thing to say, I didn't get the rebound because I wasn't boxing out appropriately. I wasn't between man and bucket, right? Like in basketball, okay. Next time, I'm going to focus more on being in the right position, and I'm going to use better technique. That's fixable. It's a whole other thing to say I didn't get that rebound because I'm 5'6", and the guy I was trying to out-rebound is 7'2", right? There's no technique that's going to fix that. That's just I don't have the physical abilities. Was it hey, we weren't communicating right. Our protections weren't where they should be, or my technique got sloppy and I didn't have the body position to anchor down in order to block Will Anderson? Or was it I did everything right and Will Anderson ran through my chest? And without being able to watch film and without being able to know what the calls are and what the play design was and what technique they're being asked to run, we won't get an answer to that until probably about week 8. Right? Where you faced quite a few pass rushers that are legit, and it's like, are you improving? Are you getting better? And I'm talking obviously about the tackles in this one just because they were up against the elite edges. But we know the interior of the offensive line has shown their cracks in the foundation as well this preseason. If it's not getting better, sometimes there's not much to do. And that would be very, very harrowing. You hope when you watch tape, there's a lot to yell at the players about. You hope there's a lot of, well, you didn't do this, and we're supposed to do that, and, oh, look how sloppy your form is, because all that can be fixed. You can't fix that guy's bigger, faster, stronger than me, and I did everything I possibly could, and he ran through my face. Or he was so fast I couldn't keep up with him. Those things would be very, very worrisome. I don't think those are the case. I don't know, but I would doubt it because Monroe Freeling is a pretty darn bananas athlete for his size. So it's probably more of a learning curve than it is a realization of something horrendous.
A little baptism by fire.
Yep. It's way
baptism by fire.
Way better to happen away from the cameras. Way better to happen at a joint practice rather than, Monday Night Football against the Lions when you're facing Aiden Hutchinson, or Sunday Night Football, against the Lions when you're facing Aiden Hutchinson. That's the way I look at it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is a little joint practice reaction. We have a Dean's List coming up, some good ones for you. But first, Dennis Cox has a message.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here real quick for my good friends over at Law Tigers. Speaking of controlling what you can control, as a motorcycle rider, do everything in your power to make sure that you are always having an escape, that you're always in control of your lane, that you're always aware of your surroundings. Those are things that you can control as a motorcycle rider. Some things that you can't control, a car drifts over to your lane or a car runs a red light, something along those lines. You can't control that. And if you find yourself on the bad end of an accident and you're the one that's not at fault, make sure you get in touch with Law Tigers at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS even before you get in touch with the insurance company. Here's the thing. Law Tigers attorneys, they're part of the motorcycle riding community. It was put together 25 years ago by people in the motorcycle riding community for motorcycle riders in times of need. That's why your case evaluation with Law Tigers, it's always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. So give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, or visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. When we come back, Dean's List. Who made it this time? Stick around.
It's bow time. We think a chicken sandwich this good should speak for itself. But when you're talking juicy, hand-breaded, and boldly seasoned chicken breasts, piled up with thick-cut pickles and creamy mayo all on a buttery toasted bun, well, we are happy to say it again and again and again. Bo's Chicken Sandwich, only at Bojangles. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Time to satisfy your Bojangles sandwich craving. With Bojangles sandwich lineup, you can choose a flavorful Cajun fried chicken filet sandwich, or a tender Cajun grilled chicken filet sandwich, or a tasty Bo's chicken sandwich. Make it a combo and add your choice of a side and Bojangles legendary iced tea. There's a Bojangles sandwich combo for everyone. Summer just doesn't get any better than that. What are you waiting for? It's bow time.
I'm Galen, co-founder of Brooklyn SolarWorks. With my Chase Inc. Business Premier Card, I get unlimited 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more. So everything we buy to run our solar business gives us cash back that we put back into the neighborhood, donating solar panels to community gardens.
Chase Inc. Cashback built for every business. Find the right card at chase.com/inc. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Everyone needs to take care of their mental health, even running back Bijan Robinson.
When I'm on the field and feeling the pressure, I usually just take a deep breath. When I'm just breathing and seeing what's in front of me, everything just slows down. It just makes me feel great before I run the play.
Just like Bijan, we all need a strong mental game on and off the field. Make a game plan for your mental health at loveyourmindplaybook.org.
Love your mind.
Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Foundation, the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, and the Ad Council.
This hour of the drive brought to you by All-Star Dog Training. You've seen their dogs featured in college and professional sports. They can train your dog too. Visit allstardogtraining.com and schedule your free evaluation today.
And how are we this morning?
Fine. Is my transportation here?
Out in front, sir. A limousine and a pizza. Compliments of the Plaza Hotel. I do hope your father understands that last night I was simply checking the room to make sure everything was in order.
Oh, he was pretty mad.
He was.
He said he's going to come all the way to New York to get his naked rear end spied on.
Of course not. Will he be down soon?
He already left.
Oh, I would have liked to have offered my personal apology.
If some guy looked at you in the shower, would you ever want to see him again?
I suppose not.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis, I could not help but notice as that clip played, big smile on your face.
First of all, rest in peace. R.I.P. to Tim Curry.
Tim Curry, legendary actor. News broke that he passed away earlier today.
Yes.
80 years old. Varied, like wildly varied resume when you look at his acting resume. But you're big Tim Curry.
Massive Tim. I mean, Tim Curry in Home Alone 2 is one of my favorite characters of all time. I thought he was hysterical in that movie. Obviously, look what he's done. Again, the array of films that he's been in, like Clue.
Yeah, I was going to say, I always think of Clue first. I know a lot of people go Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Horror Picture Show.
I go Clue.
The original It. Mm-hmm. He played the clown in It, and then again Home Alone 2. I thought he was absolutely hysterical in that movie. So yeah, R.I.P. Tim Curry. He's also done a lot of great voice acting and things like that as well. He was in Hunt for Red October.
He was in a Muppet of some kind.
Yeah.
A Muppets movie, obviously, of some kind. No, that's it's sad, but also, we saw yesterday with Dolly Parton. there is it's not joy, but there is something nice about like revisiting somebody with such a extensive catalog of work. And sometimes people always say give the flowers before they pass on. Sometimes the passing out of flowers when they pass on is brings a smile to your face because you remember all the things that they did. So Tim Curry, obviously rest in peace, and passing along support to his entire community, family, friends, everybody that knew him and loved him. No easy transitions out of conversations like that, so we just plow through. Let's go ahead and jump into the Dean's List. Dean's List, where we honor those in the college sports world that deserve a little extra accolades, a little extra spotlight. Starting with, probably the 10th time he's been on some kind of a preseason list or a watch list. C.J. Bailey, the quarterback for NC State, third-year starter, rising junior. He was number 68 in ESPN's ranking of the top 100 players in college football, an annual list they put together. They get the whole round table together. It's a whole bunch of panels, and they decide who the top 100 players in college football are. C.J. Bailey, number 68. Really the only local representation. Darian Mentz obviously higher up, but he's no longer local representation. Adam Rittenberg, part of the panel, did single out Bailey as well as Jaren Kiave Sagopolu-Tele from Cal as players, a.k.a. quarterbacks, who could jump in the midseason rankings. So there's some kinetic energy or potential energy there where they could rise quickly. C.J. Bailey makes the Dean's List. A great name, our next Dean's List member, Marty Wims II. Dennis, do you know who Marty Wims II is?
No relation.
Do you remember a couple of weeks ago, Akron decided they were going to raffle off who their
that's right.
Marty Wims II is going to be calling plays for the first drive.
Let's go.
Of the Akron Zips football season.
I really wish I bought a ticket. I wish I bought a season ticket. I wish I had.
I actually, they sold way more tickets than they usually sell. Celebrities bought a ton of tickets.
Yeah.
I kind of like this. It would be more fun if it was someone completely random because I think they would maybe be more entertaining as a play caller. But Marty Wims he was announced by the program as the contest winner. He is an alumni of Akron, and he is a longtime season ticket holder of Akron. So, I feel like that's more deserving because he's going to get to call plays or at least really, really be heavy in the design of the plays for the first drive of the season. He's a fan. And there was, a ton of podcasters and things that bought tickets because they're just raffling it off to a random season ticket holder. But Marty Wims II, a.k.a. Coach Wims. Shout out to Akron as well. I guess I put them on because it's creative as all get out that they did that. It's against Robert Morris, so they probably feel like even if that drive is a disaster, they should be able to hold on and win. But
it's okay. You're playing an FCS school. Yeah. You would anticipate.
But I hope they score. I hope it's dialed. I hope it's chunk play, surprise play, touchdown. I hope it's just wired.
4 plays, 80 yards. Let's go.
And all of them were good calls. It's like a 9-yard pickup, 16-yard pickup, 30-yard pickup, 20-yard touchdown. Something just boom, boom, boom. Dennis, do you have any Dean's Listers?
I do. This is really weird to say it, but the SEC.
Interesting.
I'm going to put the SEC on the Dean's List again for all the rules that they're in. They officially put the rule in. Now, again, I don't know how it's going to hold up in court.
Yep.
But that fact that they officially said not just players that were in the NFL draft or on NFL offseason rosters, preseason rosters, they factored in anyone that's declared pro in the NBA and didn't withdraw their name in time. WNBA played an affiliate team with any G League or NBA, WNBA, NFL, or other professional football team. They went a little bit more blanket coverage in that regard as opposed to just singling out the guys that are currently on NFL training camp rosters. I was like, okay, SEC. Kudos.
I don't know what's better for a better chance to defend in court. If you keep it vague or if you go very specific, I don't know. Maybe we'll find out if one of these conferences' new rules are upheld and one is overturned. Then perhaps we'll learn for the future.
Might.
But I think conferences also are aware that rosters in the NCAA lock the day before their first game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I mean, you just got to run out the clock. You just got to 4-minute drill. Just eat the clock, end the game with the ball. As long as you get past game one, I think a lot of this will be put in the rear view if we can get past game one.
Just pick up first downs, baby. Let's go.
Don't run out of bounds. No incompletions. All that kind of stuff. More Dean's List here on the drive. This will be a quick one. College baseball. The automated ball and strike system has been approved for use next season. So the ABS, automated balls and strikes, the NCAA announced yesterday. All divisions, so it's Division I, Division II, and Division III baseball, it's an option, right, when available. Not every team is going to have the technology, the resources. Not every stadium is going to be equipped for the equipment. But if you have it, you can use it, and I just think it's good to be in favor of better calls. I will continue to move that umpires and refs should not be insulted when their calls are overturned. They should be excited because their job is to get the call right, and if it gets improved, that's good. So shout out to college baseball for implementing, when possible, the best balls and strike system we can offer.
My guess is that we'll see it in conference tournaments like the ACC because they usually play either Durham Bulls Athletic Park or was it Truist down there in Charlotte, which are equipped for it, and I'm assuming we'll see it in NCAA tournament as well.
I would assume for the postseason they do what they can. Also, the richer programs will likely have it just in their stadiums. More Dean's List. Blaze Berlowitz.
Who?
Blaze Berlowitz.
Okay.
That part of it is just because I wanted to say his name. Blaze Berlowitz. He was named the starting quarterback for Vanderbilt week 1. The reason why he makes the Dean's List, the fact that he beat out Jared Curtis is bonkers. If you don't know who Jared Curtis is, he is the number 2 rated recruit in the country by 247 Sports. So he's a freshman, but he's literally the highest rated recruit to ever commit to Vanderbilt. And he was brought in with like program changing expectations. Blaze Berlowitz is a senior quarterback who last season as a backup threw for 131 yards in mop-up duty. And somehow, I don't care if he loses the job week 2, he held off the buzziest recruit in Vanderbilt history through a training camp to the point where he's going to start game 1. That's a David Goliath level upset that he's starting week 1.
I did see that both quarterbacks were going to play, though.
Yeah, he might lose it by halftime.
Yes, true.
But he's still in the mix, which is crazy because so many, like a recruit of Curtis's level gets a boatload of money promised to him and usually a starting job promised to him. And somehow Blaze Berlowitz said, "Not today. I'll be leading us out there for game number 1 against Austin Peay." Which, by the way, you should look good against Austin Peay. There shouldn't be any reason to lose your job there. Lastly, and this is on a final, more serious Dean's List note. Some of you may have seen it on social media. I'm putting Kyle Singler on the Dean's List. He is obviously struggling with some things. He put out some very concerning videos on his Instagram. Listen, I know people in this area, Duke fans and just college sports fans, rally for this sort of thing. People care about him. They want to help. Kyle, accept the help that is being offered. And I know we get caught up in the rivalry jokes quite a bit, right? Cool it with the jokes. If you're a fan of a different team than he played college for 15 years ago, he's obviously going through some things that are not fun and not easy to watch. So cool it with the jokes. We root for all of the athletes that we cover and everyone in the area in general. Whether their careers, whether they win, whether they become all pros, whether they have conference championships or not, you don't want to see someone struggling in the way he's struggling. So He is a Duke legend, played alongside John Shire, won a national championship, the whole deal, and hopefully someone can reach out and get through to him because it's hard to watch. That's it for the Dean's List. Dismissed here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Right now, I want to tell you all about Kalshi. Tim Donnelly here for Kalshi. Before the season even kicks off, and it's close to kicking off, before it even kicks off, everyone has their predictions. Who wins the division? Who makes the playoffs? Maybe end-of-season award predictions, maybe win-loss total predictions. On Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform, you can trade those predictions in a live market. Can the Panthers win at least 9 games this season? That would be one more than last year, just 1 game of improvement. If Carolina wins 9 games, that's trading at 32%, meaning a $100 trade would pay out just about $275 if they reach 9 or more wins. $275 roughly. But remember, you don't always have to go the distance, right? A season's a long time. If you like the way the probabilities have moved week 4, you can trade out. That's the beauty of Kalshi. You're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. So trade the draft pick, the game, the win total on Kalshi, and more. Download the Kalshi app and use code TIMD, that's TIMD, right now to get $20 when you trade $20. That's download the Kalshi app and at sign-up use code TIMD to get $20 when you trade $20. KALSHI, Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restriction and eligibility requirements apply. Van contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Up next, earlier today, we caught up with the head coach of the Duke Blue Devils, Manny Diaz, named a starting quarterback, dealing with the ever-changing landscape of college sports, and more. We talked about it earlier. You'll hear it next. Stick around.
At Wake Orthopedics Urgent Care, we spend days, nights, and weekends in 3 convenient locations providing specialized care for kids and adults. Sprains and strains, shoulders and knees, fractures, hammies, and more. All that and all without an appointment. Walk in or limp in, either way you'll get the care you need whenever you need it. Visit us today at wakemed.org.
You pull up at a McDonald's drive-thru at the crack of dawn to get your $3 crispy chicken biscuit. You've been craving it all night. It was a very long night, but your taste buds pulled through. Those are no ordinary taste buds, and you are no ordinary human. You are a champion, and you deserve a $3 crispy chicken biscuit. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55-plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rates reserved.
Pros, find the right flooring for the job in Lowe's newly redesigned flooring showroom. Shop our expanded assortment of trusted brands and get up to 35% off style selections, Stainmaster, and Stainmaster Pet Protect Special Order Carpet. And while you're here, save $100 on a DeWalt 20-volt max 6-amp-hour 2-pack of batteries. Now just $179. Get more of what you need faster and save more where it counts from the ground up. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 8/26 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Egan to the middle, through the hands, nearly intercepted, but it's a touchdown! Ping pongs its way to Matthew Coleman. They're gonna.
Welcome back into the drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Joining us now ahead of their opener coming up September 5th. The head coach of the Duke Blue Devils, it's Manny Diaz on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Coach, thank you very much for taking time out of a busy prep season for you to talk with us. I guess maybe one decision off your plate, though, in the last couple of days here. You're going with Walker Egan, the transfer at starting quarterback. We'll start there in the most kind of broad sense. Why was he the right guy? Why him?
Yeah, Tim, we had a really good quarterback competition throughout our training camp. Dan Mahan, young guy in our program that I think the whole locker room really respects, really had a good camp. And I think the team believes we can win with both. I think not uncommon, usually with the difference between older guys and younger guys is just a little bit of the urgency, which leads to a better day-to-day consistency. When you know it's your last go-around, maybe how you handle every rep or anything, because there's just a heightened sense of urgency. And I think so. I think Walker was just slightly more consistent over training camp. I think both can have a role. I think Dan can have a role in our football team to still affect winning. But we're proud of both guys. But the team needed a starting quarterback after not having one for so long. And I think they'll rally behind Walker. And like as always, the quarterback does well when everybody around him plays well.
Is this one of those situations where, I cite Lorne Michaels, the creator of Saturday Night Live, right? Like we don't go on at 11:30, we don't go on because we're ready. We go on because it's 11:30. Was this just a time you needed to make a decision, or did Walker do something to grab the role and make it his?
Well, the Lorne Michaels quote is totally apropos for college football. But no, it was what you want. Even for, let's say Walker, for example, you want him to assume the role of QB1, the way that he can command a huddle now, the way he can command the locker room. You want, there comes a point where not just because the game is coming, but because, you want the team to feel who's the guy, the offense. There's an old saying, offenses take on the personality of their quarterback, defense take on the personality of their coordinator. And so you want everyone to sort of feel that so they know who, the field general is. And so, Walker's ready for that. And like I said, we'll keep getting Dan game ready because he's going to have a say in this whole thing too.
We're talking with Manny Diaz, Duke head football coach here on The Drive. Manny, from your perspective, your point of view, what does all this 5-for-5 eligibility craziness, for lack of a better term, what does that look like from where you're sitting?
Well, look, the 5-for-5 was and is a good rule. It takes away a lot of the unintended consequences of the 4-game red shirt. It lets everybody know what they have. It's going to remove all the waivers. You're going to stop hearing stories about 6th and 7th year guys. It's going to bring the sport back to being more of a collegiate experience around the time that most people are in college. But this is our issue, is that anytime you lay down a rule, there's always unintended consequences. And anytime you draw a line, someone's always going to be just on the other side of the line. Mm-hmm. Of course, that was the class that just graduated after 4 years. So that group that played 4 years and 4 years suddenly wonders, well, why can't I have a 5th year and a 5th year? And that's a fair argument, right? Well, but if we say yes to them, and people who got done playing 4 years ago that only played 4 years would say, well, why can't I have a 5th year? Because what's the difference between who cares when your window ended? And then all of a sudden you have guys from the 90s saying, well, I left college after 3 years. Why can't and so it would never end. There's good, listen, to get anything under control, you've got to draw a line. These are the tough decisions that people have to make. And that's where we're at. But because we've not drawn lines and because we've, dealt with exceptions, the people who deal in billable hours have had a field day making rules off of our exceptions. And when you make rules off exceptions, you have no rules, and that's been our problem. So we got to get that under control, and hopefully what's happening right now is a step towards that.
I saw yesterday in reaction to the conferences kind of putting some of the conferences considering putting their own bans on pro players coming back down to college or players that were on rosters and so many details that I'm not going to say here because it would bog everything down. But I saw you mention that you wouldn't be surprised if conferences kind of took the bull by the horns and started setting their own rules that perhaps the NCAA can't enforce. Is that a slippery slope where like are you prepared to play against a conference in non-conference games or compete for a national title with teams that don't have to obey the same roster rules as the ACC teams that you face in conference do?
Yeah, that's a possibility. I mean, way back in the day, there were conferences that could take, non-qualifiers and ones that couldn't. So that's not unprecedented. But in any aspect of life, if there's a vacuum of power, someone's going to try to move in that space. Now, the problem with the conferences is it's always been fun to sit behind and watch NCAA take a beating because when you stand out and make rules, you're the one that's going to get sued, right? That's just all the lawyers are going to do is just put you in their crosshairs. So, but listen, that's why the commissioners are who they are. They're highly intelligent people, and hopefully the more they work together, the more we can kind of set some parameters that everybody wants to follow and pass, at a minimum, at least pass the common sense test.
If the ACC starts making ACC rules, any rules that you jump to your mind that you want to see implemented?
Well, I think this is where it begins. I mean, I think at some point, just in terms of roster construction, to have, guidelines of who's eligible, when they're eligible, those type of things. I mean, if we can't start there, it's hard, everything else is very troublesome.
We're talking with Manny Diaz, Duke head football coach. Again, they open their season against Tulane Saturday, September 5th, 3:30 p.m. start on that one. Coach, to jump back to the football side of things, quarterback is always buzzy, right? It's spotlight attractant. So we've been discussing how you're going to replace Mensa or Barkate. I want to look at the other side of the ball. Now that you're pretty much through training camp, how has it been replacing Chandler Rivers and Wesley Williams and Vincent Anthony Jr. and some of these big names that are on NFL rosters from last year from your defense?
Yeah, I think we did lose some names that are definitely on the pro camps, but nobody in the program was pleased in how we played defense a year ago. We took a major step backwards. We were so poor against the pass, which we were so poor on third down. So I've just felt a different edge about the way we've practiced in those guys. And sometimes, defense is a little different than offense. Defense is sometimes it's the sum has to be greater than the whole of the parts, and in 24 we played really, really good defense and really behaved like a unit. And last year it didn't happen. And you can never really predict when you put the pieces together. That's why I say it's not fantasy football. And the way the guys all interact, sometimes it creates something better than the sum of the parts, and sometimes it doesn't. And so we got to get back to playing great defense around here. And I like the attitude that they've practiced with, but ultimately we got to go play and get tested by somebody else, and that time is coming.
It has been a year and 1 day since you named your captains for last year. It's been 2 years and 2 days since you named your captains for 2 years ago. Can we get an exclusive?
No, and then not because you wouldn't be the exact person I'd want to give it to, but we haven't voted yet. That's a player vote thing. We play, in essence, like a mock game on Friday night. And so that's the first time we'd have a mock coin toss because guess what? You got to coach a guy how to say heads or tails. So yeah, we don't even have our captains determined yet. We'll do that by the end of the week.
That is a detail-oriented coach. Got to make sure you know how to call heads or tails.
I've been in a game a long time ago as a defense coordinator where we sent out someone for the coin toss and somehow we kicked off both halves. So if you don't think it can happen, it can happen.
Oh yeah, the old defer and then we would like to kick. I've seen it happen a few times.
That's what it was.
It's all right. You're right. Okay, maybe it's not the most detailed-oriented thing. It's just common sense to make sure that's taken care of. I know you're not a big outside noise guy. We've had these conversations, but I do have to ask because it kind of made me upset. How ridiculous is it that Nate Shepard is not on the Doak Walker Award watch list? As they put 60 running back names on that list, and his wasn't one of them.
it's actually so ridiculous that it's funny. You know what I mean? Like, it's the type of thing that you don't even have to take it seriously because, and I think the kid from Louisville is not on it also. I mean, which is probably the best backs in our conference. So I mean, Doak Walker needs to get his eyes checked. He couldn't have been that great a running back without better vision. So, but you know what? We love it because we are definitely at our best here at Duke when we've got a chip on our shoulder. And you worry sometimes when a young man has great success in his first year that they can lose that chip. They can start to think that, I've got this thing figured out and this is easy. And Nate has really gone the other way. He has really pushed himself to get better. I do think he's better than he was a year ago, and he will. I hope he gets all the disrespect coming his way because he's going to pay it back, and I'm excited to watch that.
That chip on your shoulder. Yeah, you've won a good amount of games now, both years you've been here, and the 2 years prior at Duke. Yet it does seem like there's some skepticism looking at your program. Does that chip? Do you think it'll ever be removed from the national media where they start maybe like overemphasizing, what you guys have there rather than being skeptical every year and you having to prove them wrong?
That's not for us to control. People are, it's a narrative sport. Most narratives are lazy. I don't think anybody really knows. That's the other part of it too. I mean, now with the portal era, you don't really know. I mean, how many teams in the top 25 a year ago ended up not in the top 25 by the end of the year, and that's just going to become more and more common. I think the biggest thing we as humans, we normally suck at seeing change. We think things will stay the way that they always have been. And so it's easy to remember college football, when I was growing up or, in the early 2000s. And, the transfer portal era has fundamentally turned everything on its head. You can't explain, if you'd been in a coma 10 years ago and woke up and someone said Indiana's, national champions and Duke won the ACC, they would have asked to go back to the coma. You know what I mean? No one would have believed it. So everything is different. And so we're usually slow to recognize that. What I care about is that we're not slow to recognize that inside our building and our guys understand that our only limits are the ones we set for ourselves.
Coach, I always, before our conversation ends, I usually ask you a Luke Murgott question because he went to my high school and his mom was my math teacher. But we've talked about Luke enough. Kevin O'Connor played at our rival, though, a team that we used to beat up on down there in Easton. So I'll ask you a Kevin O'Connor question. Is he the breakout on the defense, a guy that you're expecting to see a lot more of?
Yeah, I do think you will see him. Was our best defensive end in spring football. Has continued his high level of play now. Obviously had the huge fake punt in the ACC championship game a year ago. So great young man, had to battle some injuries his first couple of years and has worked his tail off. And so you really love to see guys get rewarded. And a great example of what Duke is, and like I said, why we're different than most programs, where how we recruit, the type of people we recruit, and that they trust our development. And then by year 3 and year 4, they become, really outstanding guys. And we're excited to see Kevin take on a big role for us.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Good luck this season, and enjoy the mock game on Friday. That sounds like a blast.
That's right. Duke's going to win. I know that.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Have a great day.
Once again, that is Manny Diaz, head coach of Duke football. Guaranteed win on Friday. It's a mock game between themselves, but kind of starting 1-0. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That was the Heaster Automotive Group hotline, by the way. Manny was on. When we come back, football at 4. Don't go anywhere.
Worried about car repair costs? Relax. Meineke has you covered with flexible financing solutions customized especially for you. For tires, brakes, engine repairs, and more, you can trust Meineke to get you safely back on the road now and in the future with multiple payment solutions available. No worries. Meineke will make it easy for you. Each Meineke is independently owned and operated. Schedule an appointment today by visiting Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
Rev up your summer at the Make This the Summer event going on now at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Grab summer adventures when you drive home a brand new 2026 Ram 1500 for 20% off. Excludes RHO. See dealer for details. Or expand your options for off-road exploration with a new 2026 Jeep Gladiator. Save 15% off during the Make This the Summer event. Plus, get 2.9% financing for 72 months. So get off your keister and get to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington today.
It's time to celebrate Global Golf Raleigh's anniversary sale August 24th to the 29th. Save $50 off purchases of $300 and $125 on $600. Plus pre-owned Vokey wedges starting at $89.99 and take 20% off golf bags. Also get a huge 50% trade-in bonus towards your next upgrade. Visit the Global Golf Outlet at 7320 ACC Boulevard in North Raleigh. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6. Global Golf, home of the best deals in golf. Some exclusions apply. In-store offers only.
Summer's winding down and life is ramping back up. And Aleve is here for all those moments that matter. From early mornings to late afternoons, Aleve relieves pain in 30 minutes for up to 12 hours with just one pill. For busy schedules packed with school drop-offs, long meetings, and endless to-do lists, Aleve delivers long-lasting pain relief so you can keep on track. From sun up to sundown, you'll be ready for whatever's next. Feel Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it.
That one back, that one going, gone!
Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, it's the weather.
I'm WREL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Seeing that transition day today. Humidity's climbing this afternoon. We'll see a few isolated storms, and it's hotter with a high of 90. 70 overnight tonight. A good chance of scattered showers and storms both Thursday and Friday. In the afternoon and evening, with highs in the upper 80s.
Weather update brought to you by All-Star Dog Training. You've seen their dogs featured in college and professional sports. They can train your dog too. Visit allstardogtraining.com and schedule your free evaluation today. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 112 points today at the closing bell, closing at 53,464.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for football at 4, brought to you by John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Get off your keister and come to Heister. Dave Canales. I forget what, oh, now it's going to annoy me. I don't know why this popped into my head. There's a show, it's a political show, where like during a campaign, there's a question that everyone knows they're going to get asked. And the question is simply, why do you want to be the governor or president, whatever they're running for? And you have to have a great answer for it. If you are a head coach and you have a young quarterback, you better have your political liaisons behind the scenes working up a perfect answer for, are you going to give your quarterback a contract extension? Because the question is coming, and if you fumble through it, it's going to be a mess. If you go, well, what happens, we like him. I mean, is he the next 5 years? 5 years is a long time. We don't even know if we're going to be alive on Sunday. Like, all of a sudden, it looks like you don't have any confidence in your quarterback at all, and that could rock his world, right? That could put him into a tilt mode. But at the same time, if you come out and go, that's the best player I've ever seen, I would trust him with my life to pick up a 3rd and 16 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock, then, you know, if you double back and you end up benching him in a week, you look like you can't be trusted. So how does Dave Canales play it, right? Bryce Young is contract extension eligible right now. He's been the starter for almost the entirety of the last 3 years, give or take a little couple game here or there where Andy Dalton's taken over. But he's been the guy leading their offense, and they have not brought in real competition for him. Yet they also have not signed him to a contract extension. So Dave Canales is on with Stephen A. Smith, and he got the question. The question being, is Bryce a franchise quarterback? And here's what Dave Canales on Stephen A. Smith's Sirius XM show had to say about Bryce Young as a franchise QB.
Is he your franchise quarterback?
He is right now. He's our guy. He's our guy, and I love the trajectory that he's on. And not just the stuff that he's growing in from just an operational standpoint, moving the offense, finding chemistry and all that, but it's also just the critical moments. It's those games. It's the close games. It's the one-score game at the end, whether we're up or down. I love having Bryce out there. I love that he stays cool, calm, and collected and aggressive, and he attacks at the right time. So all those things are pointing in the right direction. I'll let the rest of the stuff just, sort itself out with all the conversations with, his whole group and party and our front office here with Dan and Brent working that part out. But for me, especially now not calling plays, I get to just enjoy this road, help him improve on a daily basis and really take that input and get him to take the next step.
The reason why I used the political analogy at the beginning is because there was a lot of similar uses in there. Two things I point to. First, one of my favorite mechanisms that a coach can use, which is right now.
He is right now.
Is he the franchise quarterback?
He is right now.
Do you know why that's perfect? Do you know why that is such a great mechanism? Is because you can do anything 10 minutes after saying that, and if the court reporter will read back the proceedings, you will notice I did not perjure myself. Like, there's no lie, because right then he was the starter. That says nothing about the future. He is right now. If you bench him tomorrow, technically you did not lie. You get to keep that last little shred of, I'm trustworthy. It is an oxymoron inherently, by the way. Is he a franchise quarterback? He is right now. Do you know what a franchise quarterback is? It's your quarterback for the next however many years. Like, that's what a franchise quarterback right now, that's not a franchise quarterback. Franchise quarterback is your guy for the next 5, depending on age, might be 10.
Franchise quarterback right now he's our starter.
He's, as of right now, if we played a game today, he would get the first reps.
Yeah, he'd start.
That's what he is, our quarterback right now means.
That's it.
The other thing he did is he did draw a line between him and the front office, right? I'm going to say all of these glowing things about Bryce Young, and then I'm going to say the contract is going to be decided upon by them on the other side of the fence. That's not me. Because it's actually why I think it's good when maybe the GM and head coach aren't a mind meld completely. They're not like best friends connected at the hip, because Dan Morgan doesn't have to be every single day in a room with Bryce, right? Dave Canales does. So they can play good cop, bad cop, right? They can play, I love you. You're a franchise quarterback to me. I love the trajectory you're on. You're going on the up and up. Oh, good this. Oh, good that. Oh, good this. Oh, good that. And then when Bryce goes, so give me the money, he can go, whoa, not my decision. I would if I could. Not my decision. And then Dan Morgan can put on the Ray-Bans and roll in like the bad cop and go, prove it, right? And it's not, no one is necessarily speaking out of both sides of their mouth. It's just the decision-making group is kind of speaking out of both sides of their mouth. It's why I think it was so difficult towards the end for Bill Belichick in New England. It's why if I were an owner, I would never hire a head coach / GM. I would never give my head coach final say on the roster or personnel decisions, because the coach has to be able to blame someone else. It's the same way, and I was telling Dennis this off air. I am a head coach, and we don't keep score, but if we did, I'm 1-0 in my soccer coaching career with 5-year-olds. There's going to be an age where I do not want to be the head coach. Right now, everybody plays the exact same, right? I'm trying to play them like down to the minute, the same amount of time, same position. Everybody gets the same amount of chance to score. As soon as you're playing to win, I do not want to be the head coach. I want to be the assistant. So when an angry parent comes running up asking why little Billy isn't playing or didn't play in the scoring position or didn't get to finish the game or start the game, I can go, I love Billy. Billy's great. Billy's awesome. Head coach decides the starters. Like, that's essentially what Dave Canales did. I love Bryce. Oh, the up and up. Oh, the calm, cool, collected. Oh, it's great. GM decides on the contract, and you just get to have the relaxed nature. Dave Canales, an additional, just because we have the audio here, with Stephen A. Smith on Sirius, talked about him not wanting to hold back the offense, and obviously that involves him giving up play calling and a few things. So here's Dave Canales.
As I'm going through plays, I'm like, okay, I got 2. I got my finger on 2 right here. It's 3rd and 7, and Brad's like, go with this one. And I would say 9 times out of 10, he's got the right play. And then there were a couple of times just throughout the season where, he's like, oh, no, not that one, this one, and I could feel where, he had something in mind with his conversations with Harold Goodwin with the run game, the connection with the wideouts. He spent so much time with Bryce in our QB room, so there's a natural relationship there. So that's one part of it, is just trying to make sure that I'm not in the way of where we could go offensively and our potential and the speed of play and tempo for somebody who's locked in only on the offensive side.
I think all that's true. I don't know if maybe this says something about my ego. I don't know if I were an offensive-minded head coach, if I'd ever be able to give up play calling. But I do think that's one of the more obvious reasons for potential optimism this year for the Panthers. Is Dave Canales' superpower is relating to people, culture building, big picture stuff, and you hope that Brad Idzik's superpower is knowing the right call on 3rd down. Like, if that happens, I do think that can be a fairly significant advantage based on, last year to this year for the Carolina Panthers. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. You'll know Dave Canales has bought into Bryce Young when he's asked the question, right? Is he the franchise quarterback? Are you going to give him an extension? And you don't see right now, and you don't see pawning off responsibility on Dan Morgan. When he starts talking more definitively without a time frame on it, and as if he has some power because he's the head coach and he does, that's when you'll know his confidence in Bryce is true. Right now, I think he's teetering. Maybe leaning yes, maybe leaning likes him, but I don't think the scales are falling aggressively in either direction.
He is right now.
He just sounds so happy. He is right now. As if he's...
I feel great about playing football right now.
It's like my kid's walking into Disneyland or something. Like, what are we doing first? It's like that's just a question. Why do you have so much pep in your words? He is right now. It's fantastic. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the Football at 4, brought to you by John Heister, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Get off your keister and come to Heister. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. I'm going to try to say this with just pure pep and energy in my voice. I don't even know if I could do it. Miller Lending. You want a no-cost loan? Call Miller Lending. I can't. I'm just going to say it logically because that's really what Miller Lending is. They're logical. They understand that you save up a bunch of money for a down payment. You budget a bunch of money for your monthly payment. Why do you need to do the closing cost things too? Well, they say don't. Get a no-cost loan. Save up for the down payment. Boom, make that down payment. Save up for the monthly payment so you can afford it. Boom, you're good to go. Forget about the rest. No closing cost. No cost loan. That's why they call it a no-cost loan at Miller Lending. Miller Lending's been doing it for decades here in the Triangle. Gordon Miller's been doing it even longer than that in his career. So if you're curious, you want to refi without the closing costs, you want to get your mortgage without the closing costs, call Miller Lending. Right now, I'll give you the phone number, 919-447-3377. I'll say it with pep. 919-447-3377. That help? A little optimistic? You can also visit them online, millerlending.com. Once again, millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. We're going to take a break. When we come back, blind rankings. So blind, I don't even know what we're ranking. Stick around.
Kevin, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
The NCAA could have been the bus driver on this. They could have taken control and been the adult in the room a long time ago. And they kept kicking the can down the road, and they just have never been big picture thinkers or been the leaders that they need to be, which is why we have issue after issue after issue, with 5 for 5 and the timing of this being the latest.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
McDonald's is putting value back on the menu. Whether you're craving a Big Mac, McNuggets, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, make it a meal and save. Your favorite is now your wallet's favorite too. Extra value meals are back.
Now, save on what you crave. Get a 10-piece chicken McNuggets, medium fries, and medium Coke for just $8. That's one unbeatable deal. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary.
You could argue that making jewelry by hand is yesterday's way of doing it. You could claim that being particular about custom design and old-world craftsmanship slows down the process. You could call us old-fashioned, and you'd be right. Because the heart and soul of Bailey's is our workshop, where skilled craftsmen create heirlooms meant to last for generations. Come see why we've been voted the best jeweler year after year. Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Every woman wants a Bailey box.
Tomorrow starts tonight. The energy you have, the patience you show your family, the focus you bring to work. It all begins with sleep. I'm Megan Giggling with Parkway Sleep Health Centers. If you've been putting off getting help because you thought it would take months, Parkway is different. Most patients start care within weeks, not months, with convenient virtual visits and home sleep studies. Because life is better when you sleep well.
Parkway Sleep, your fastest path to better sleep. Start today at parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
Is that a new bump on your dog's neck? Or is that bump just a part of his neck? Could be a bug bite or something way worse.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Wait, there's another bump right by the first bump.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for one of our favorite games. We play it every week, Wednesdays. I don't know if we're working as a team or if Dennis is trying to stump me, but we're playing blind ranking. And at this point, I don't know where to go next because I'm still blind here. I don't know what the rankings are. I don't know what we're ranking. So, Dennis, take it away.
All right, Tim. For today's blind ranking, since the NFL MVP award is, well, let's be honest, is basically who's the best quarterback award. So we're going to blind rank these Offensive Player of the Year candidates because usually it goes to a non-quarterback.
In the
NFL.
Basically, for you to win this award, I think the last one who wasn't a quarterback, if I'm not mistaken, was Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, MVP, I believe, yeah.
And all he had to do was recover from an ACL in like 8 months and run for over 2,000 yards, which at the time was like there was like 6 guys in NFL history to have done it. So, you know, if you're going to be a true alien superhero, you can win from another position. Other than that, it just goes to the not even the best quarterback always. Like the best quarterback that happens to be on one of the 3 or 4 best teams. So going Offensive Player of the Year does open up the possibilities, the candidate pool a bit more.
That it does. So that's why we're going to blind rank again Offensive Player of the Year candidates in the NFL.
All right, I like it.
All right, first one here. Again, it's a fun way to talk about non-quarterbacks.
Hey, although what was it? Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson split it won one MVP, won one. Was it all? Oh no, never mind. I'm thinking AP first team. Never mind. Take everything I said back, and I don't know why I'm interrupting you anyway.
It's okay. That's totally fine. All right, blind ranking again. NFL Offensive Player of the Year award candidates, because again, usually quarterbacks win MVP, so we're going to go non-MVPs here. First one on this list, Tim. Bijan Robinson, Atlanta Falcons running back.
I am a very, very big Bijan Robinson fan. I think he's a great fantasy pick. I think he is an exceptional two-way player. He actually answered. So in the early part of his career, he was very, very good, but I did think he lacked some explosive plays. Like he didn't have enough 30, 40-plus yards. Last year, he added those. I don't know if he worked on his speed. I don't know if it was pure, just happenstance, but he found a way. So credit to him. With that being said, I do think the team has to be a certain level of good, even to be you don't got to be a top 3 or 4 team, but you can't be one of the bottoms. And I'm worried about the Falcons quarterback position. So I don't know if he can pull it off without team success. And also for a running back, you do have to be ahead to get like a ridiculous rushing number. So I'll put him number 4.
All right, Bijan Robinson, number 4. I was kind of surprised by that.
It's not a knock on Bijan. It's a knock on how the awards are given out.
Yeah. All right, next one here. So again, blind ranking, NFL Offensive Player of the Year award likelihood or candidates. Gave you Bijan Robinson. You put him at number 4. You have 1, 2, 3, and 5 available for the next person on this list. Justin Jefferson, wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings.
I actually think, because I don't know how the award works, I think he's a comeback player of the year candidate.
He might be.
Because I think he said it recently, like nobody thinks of him as the best wide receiver in the NFL anymore, but they will after this year. That's like his announcing. Basically him blaming J.J. McCarthy, Carson Wentz, and Max Brosmer for him only having, 2 touchdowns last year? This one, I think the narrative is there. Right? The narrative is there because people like improvements in these awards. It's very hard to win these awards back-to-back years, even if you put up the exact same stats, because now we're like, well, we've seen that. So he kind of reset expectations by having a down year last year. I'll put him just above Justin Jefferson. Just above Bijan at number 3. I don't love the Vikings' chances. That division is tough. But I think Kyler Murray, who got the starting job with Minnesota, is better than the quarterbacks he played with last year. So I think it's an opportunity for a real bounce back. He could put up 1,510 touchdowns, which seemed normal for him for a while. But
that's what he did in 2024.
But it's not normal for humans. He's really good.
By the way, I bet every receiver out there will let have a down year for Justin Jefferson, which was last year 84 catches, 1,048 yards.
Yep.
I'd take that down year.
Oh, yeah. And it was like noticeably bad. Like you were watching games going, that doesn't even look like Justin Jefferson. He had over 1,000 yards. But there was also a lot where it did look like Justin Jefferson, and the ball was nowhere near him. Like he, created the opening, shook the defender, had the diamond necklace glimmering in the sun. And then it skipped into him about 10 yards short. There were some rough ones.
All right, so again, blind ranking, Offensive Player of the Year candidates, so basically non-MVPs in the NFL. Give you Bijan Robinson, Atlanta Falcons running back. You put him at number 4. I give you Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. You put him at 3. So you have 1, 2, and 5 available. For the next person on this list, Tim, Jahmyr Gibbs, running back, Detroit.
I'm going number 1. Jahmyr Gibbs appears to be, and for fantasy purposes, if I had the number 1 overall pick, I would take Jahmyr Gibbs. He appears to have one of those seasons where a lot of things are adding up for him. Meaning David Montgomery's not there anymore, right? And while David Montgomery may have elongated Jahmyr Gibbs' career by letting him start with a few seasons where he didn't have to be a ridiculous workhorse, but right as Jahmyr Gibbs is going into his prime, like the true 3 or 4 years where he should be his best, he's getting a thinned out backfield to take those carries away from him, take those touches away from him. I think Detroit is going to be hungry for a bounce back after a year last year that didn't live up to expectations. They've seemed to have their offense back on the right track after the Ben Johnson offensive coordinator departure. And also he's just really good. So I think he's somebody you could see having 2,000 plus total yards, maybe 2,300 total yards, which we all know Chris Johnson, I think, is the most total yards, meaning rushing and receiving, from 2,500. CJ 2.5K. But Jahmyr Gibbs is really, really good.
All right, so I gave you Bijan Robinson, you put him at 4. I gave you Justin Jefferson, you put him at 3. I gave you Jahmyr Gibbs, you put him at 1, which means you have 2 and 5 available for the next person on this list, Tim. Brock Bowers, tight end, Vegas Raiders.
I'm a big Brock Bowers fan.
Puts up some stupid numbers.
He's a tight end in name only. He is one of the best slot. Him and Puka Nacua play the same position to me. One of them played wide receiver in college. One of them played tight end in college. Even though he was really, like, I don't know when Brock Bowers, I guess because he's kind of like 230, like 235, whatever he is, he just becomes a tight end even though he doesn't play tight end. I think he's exceptional. I am going to lean on the same stuff and say the way the award is handed out, the same reason why we go like MVP has to be a quarterback, offensive player of the year kind of has to be a running back, a receiver, or a quarterback. Tight ends are in a really weird spot. They don't get the award love for the big awards, and they don't get such little love for the big awards that they create a new award for them. You know how like they have protector of the year now because offensive linemen had no chance at the big awards? I don't think tight ends realistically have a shot at the big awards because he could, like 1,400 yards for him, 10 touchdowns, 12 touchdowns would be one of the top 5 tight end receiving seasons of all time. And it probably still wouldn't be the best receiver of that season alone, right? There would still be a Jamar Chase or a Puka or a Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill from a couple years ago, just crushing him. So I'll put him number 5. But I am a giant Brock Bowers fan, and I hope he stays healthy. And the Raiders might stink.
Yeah, there's that as well. By the way, at the Combine, when he was coming out of the draft a couple years ago, he was 6'3 and 1/8, 243 pounds.
Yeah, so I guess it's just like if you're over 240, you can't be a receiver.
I guess.
Because he like, I'm not saying he never blocks, but I'm saying he doesn't block more than like I said, Puka Nacua or like Larry Fitzgerald used to. Like he's a good blocking wide receiver is what he is to me.
All right, to recap here as we get to the final slot, I gave you Bijan Robinson, the Atlanta Falcons running back. You put him at 4. Gave you Justin Jefferson for the Minnesota Vikings. You put him at 3. Gave you Jahmyr Gibbs, the running back for Detroit. You put him at 1. I gave you Brock Bowers, the Las Vegas Raiders tight end. You put him at 5, leaving number 2 available here, Tim, 4.
Give me someone good.
Jamar Chase, Cincinnati Bengals, wide receiver.
This might be my all-time best that I like as far as getting what I believe in. You all can decide whether it's a good ranking. I think this one slots in perfectly. Which also, I think it might slot in perfectly as far as how good I think their teams are, which I think helps for awards. I think the Lions are very good. I think the Bengals are pretty good. I think the Vikings are mystery. They could be good. I think the Falcons are looking up at most of the league, and I think the Raiders, you know, if they just have good signs from Fernando Mendoza, they don't care what their record is. They'll be happy about it, and good, because their record might not be great. Jahmyr Gibbs, number 1, best candidate for Offensive Player of the Year. Jamar Chase, number 2. Justin Jefferson, number 3. Bijan Robinson, number 4. Brock Bowers, number 5. I don't think I'd change this if I was given the option. So I'm going to let that rock and be very happy with it. Dennis, I had to rank them blind. You get the gift of sight with vision. How would you rank these 5?
I think maybe if you wanted to flip Bijan Robinson and Justin Jefferson, sure, because I think Bijan's just going to get a ton of touches this season. And if Atlanta is anywhere near 500 and Robinson's popping off, I think that's going to be even more of a factor in his case. So I would have flipped Bijan and Justin Jefferson looking at it in hindsight, but otherwise, I can't really give you many notes.
If you told me Tua would start and play the entire season, I might flip Justin Jefferson and Bijan Robinson because Tua loves a check down to those running backs. You can ask Devon Achane about that. He loves a nice little dink and dunk to the running backs. But I think we're going to see him and Penix go back and forth 3 or 4 times due to injury or play or whatever, and that's just tough on that whole offense. So that's why I would stick with Bijan in 4 and Justin Jefferson in 3.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
yeah, we're splitting.
Pretty solid. Splitting hairs here, but it's a pretty solid list though. Those are 5 studs, by the way. Those are 5 studs.
Yes, it is. I'm excited. The drive by the and bet like. You can offensive player of the year in this era is tough because there's a lot of good play callers. There's a lot of offenses that put up a lot of stats. The rules obviously help the offense. It is a crowded award ceremony. The fact that like Brock Bowers, I threw in 5 and was really comfortable with it. He's unbelievable. Like statistically, what was his rookie year is the best rookie year a tight end ever had, and then his next year he was hurt. Like that's all. Every time he's been healthy for a season, he's been historic. And I'm like, oh, throw him 5. Yeah, okay, we're good. That just shows how strong the group is. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have a cool event that honors a great cause and a couple friends of the show. That's the trifecta of I'm going to enjoy listening to this one. Klays for K. It's an event coming up here. We have Ed and Jenny to tell you all about it. And we talked about it earlier. We recorded it earlier, and we have that audio for you now. Here it is. A couple of very special guests that join us once a year for a very good reason. It is Ed Strickland, president over at and CEO and instructor and so many things over at Deep River Sporting Clays, and Jenny, the CEO of the K-Yow Cancer Fund. And they have a pretty cool connection. They have an event coming up that's going to link these two. So we'll start with you, Ed. What's the event coming up, and why is it so important to you?
Well, it is the Klays for K. This is 12 years that we've been doing this, and we're thankful for the opportunity. We basically throw a bunch of clays and break them and get a bunch of folks out to help us raise money for the K-Yow Cancer Fund, which is what it's all about.
And it is all about, and we're going to talk to Jenny about the what it benefits and the K-Yow Cancer Fund and everything. But just to get the details out there, what is the event? Who should be registering and you know, who's coming out to shoot some clays?
Perfect. Any and everybody who has a desire to get in the fight with us against cancers affecting all women. Individuals, teams of 5. It's a great team building event. So it's $125 a person, and that includes your ammo, lunch, a bunch of prizes, giveaways, and things like that. So we make it a big, big deal. It is Friday, September the 18th. Registration is going to be at 8:30. We will do a literal shotgun start at 10. We have some other things going on. It lasts about a half a day, and so our goal is to get as many folks. If you want to sponsor, that's great. We got opportunities for that. If you can't make it out, we've got raffle tickets that we're going to be giving away, a couple of really nice shotguns that also, if you can't make it out, you can go to our website at deepriversportingclays.com, and you'll find on our online store those tickets available. A couple of shotguns, Yeti coolers. There's also the registration page is Klays for K tab on the Deep River Sporting Clays email.
Now, every year, we're talking with Ed Strickland, president over at Deep River Sporting Clays. Every year I like to ask this question just to emphasize. Do you have to have any prior experience shooting clays or being around shotguns or anything like that if you want to come out and participate?
You do not. Anybody can do it. We do it at all levels. Really, a lot of folks it is their first time whenever they do it. And we have everything you need. We have shotguns available. If you don't have them, we actually even have some women's shotguns that are fit more for them. So, yeah, you don't need anything. You just need a desire to come and do something different and help us in this fight.
And date and where do they go one more time?
September 18th. That's coming up really quick. And deepriversportingclays.com is where you will find all the information for Klays 4K.
Once again, that's Ed Strickland, president over at Deep River Sporting Clays, and one half of our duo here talking about Klays for K. The other half now has grabbed the mic. Jenny, the CEO of the K-Yow Cancer Fund. Jenny, this is another question I love to emphasize every year, or I don't even know if it's a question. I just think it's perfect. Is there any other way to honor Kay Yow than to compete and get out there and find a winner? Because she would have loved an event like this.
There really isn't, and I'll tell you, gosh, it's hard to believe. Almost 20 years ago, Coach Yow laid that gauntlet down about battling cancer, and to see the communities coming together in the way, like events like Klays for Kay with Ed and what he's been able to do to really rally the community has been unbelievable. Coach Yow would be right in the middle of it if she was here.
12 years. What kind of donations? How much has raised? How much change has been affected?
Well, it's amazing. From day one, Coach Yow had a vision, really. She wanted to raise as much money as she could for cancer research and life-saving drugs. She knew her life was extended because of that. From day one, we raised money for that, and we also raised money to serve the underserved, to provide access to care for women that simply can't afford. And I can say we would not be able to do what we do without folks like Ed and the community engagement that we get. And gosh, over the last close to 20 years, we've awarded over $11 million in the fight against cancer. And so certainly something we're very, very proud of and thankful and grateful for the people that come alongside of us. And in the true Coach Yow fashion, I think I would say, because she would say, thank you to everybody, but we have so much more to do. Because obviously there's still such a need for the work that we're doing.
So Klays for Kay, which we've been talking about there. I'm the one that's supposed to be talking for a living. You guys are doing a much better job than I am. The money will be going to the foundation, and those types of things are where this is going. So if you come out and you participate and you donate, it's going towards those causes you just described?
Absolutely, and not to get too in the weeds, but, nonprofits get graded on how well they do what they say they do. And, a normal nonprofit to be graded at 70% of funds raised towards the mission of the fund would be great, and we're always in the high 80s. And so people can really trust that our money goes where we say it does. And again, Coach Yow would have it no other way.
I agree with that. If there's something to grade, she's going to want the best possible
Absolutely.
grade. Ed, you were raising your hand there. I want to make sure we get all the information out.
Yeah, if I may, my wife is a 13-year survivor, so you can do the math on the 12 and 13 years. But my mother, my sister-in-law, I've got a sister that sister-in-law is battling right now. So almost anybody who hears our voices can say they know someone that's been affected in their life. And so we're bumping on $200,000 raised for the Klays for Kay event. Our goal is $50,000 minimal this year. So we've set the goal, and we're going to do it, but we can't do it without folks coming out and helping us.
100%. And I completely agree with you that everybody that's hearing our voices has been impacted by it some way or another, which an event like this is great. We'll go to Jenny one more time here, just because sometimes you're busy that day. Sometimes there's you want to help, and you can obviously you can sponsor and you can do things with Klays for Kay. But if there's any other time of the year people want to get involved with the Kay Yow Cancer Fund, how do they do so?
So you could look on our website as well, kyow.com. We have so many different ways to participate within the community, different times of year. We'll have another signature event that we actually host in February. It's our Celebration Run Walk. We just finished our annual golf event, which takes place at every August, pretty much. And then we also do some things over at North Hills with wine walks. And so there's no shortage of involved. And so I would encourage folks to get on kyow.com. And at the very least, you can make a donation that way. And so really thankful for anything that anybody can do.
All right, now one more time, back to Ed here. Ed Strickland, president of Deep River Sporting Clays, ahead of the Kay Yow Cancer Fund benefit, which is called Klays for Kay. We just heard how personal it is for you. So I want everybody to know, how can they get involved, where, just one more time, the dates, and a quick refresh on what the event is.
Absolutely. We're going to be breaking some clay targets with a shotgun to benefit the Kay Yow Cancer Fund September the 18th, which is Friday. It's a morning event, wraps up about lunchtime. All the information can be found at deepriversportingclays.com. You can go to the tab. Klays for Kay has its own tab, or you can go to our online store and see what's available there to purchase and donate. And there's actually a donate tab on our website, so you can go directly from our website to make a donation to the Kay Yow Cancer Fund.
Thank you for everything you both do for this fund and this event, and we need to talk more than once a year. So hopefully before next year when we're promoting Klays for Kays, you guys will be back in here. Thank you. Once again, that is And as it was recorded earlier, it was grinding my gears. It's Klays 4K. I don't know why I was having such a hard time saying that. I was throwing plurals and S's all over the place. Klays 4K, if you're looking it up. It is a great cause and a really fun event. And Dennis, I know you've been over there.
At Deep River Sporting Clay?
Yeah.
Shooting school? Yeah, that's fantastic place, by the way. Been down there several times.
So if you want to go check out a fantastic place that Dennis has been there several times and also support a great cause like the KYAO Cancer Fund, you can get them both done.
I might do like a little bachelor thing a couple days before the wedding in November.
I was talking with Ed, the president of Deep River, and I forget how we got there, but we were talking about the bachelor parties that go through, and he said we were joking, obviously, but he said if the father-in-laws are there, he's like they shoot a lot better than they do when they come by themselves when they're there. He's like they're locked in, and again, obviously joking, but it's a fun vibe. You have a good time. You go around, you shoot some clays, and you get to compete, which I'm a big fan of in all arenas.
Yeah, they have. You can do keep scoring and all that kind of stuff there, but also they have a pavilion that's right there as well. So if you want to do there's a fire pit, you want to cook out and all those kinds of things, that's a pretty cool spot.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking apps. Oh, sorry. Actually, hold on. Dennis has something he'd like to tell you.
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick from my good friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Something that I know a lot of people struggle with, especially as you get older in age. And as someone who's 40 years old, I get it. As you get older, it's a lot more difficult to keep the weight down. It's more difficult to keep your metabolism going. It's just your body's aging. So I know how hard it can be to keep the weight down. And the whole process at Raleigh Weight Loss Center is all about jump-starting and restarting your metabolism. And that's the goal of Raleigh Weight Loss Center. There's no shots or injections, no side effects, not doing steroids, no HGH, not juicing up. It's all about your body just doing the natural thing that it can do, which is burn off weight, jump-starting your metabolism, reigniting it. And I've been with a program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center, and I've lost weight thanks to their program. And speaking of my wedding that's coming up, I have a wedding date, and I have a wedding goal weight, and I know exactly the plan I need to follow. I actually had a follow-up appointment with the folks at Raleigh Weight Loss Center yesterday about that plan, and that's the best thing about it. They give you an actual plan to follow. You stick with the plan, you're going to see results in some way, shape, or form. If you're wanting to lose weight, just give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up a free 15-minute phone consultation, RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Just turned my mic on. Now that I have my mic on, I can tell you when we come back, joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline, Dowell Loggains, the head coach of App State football. Their season starts up in the not-too-distant future against Maine. How are they getting ready? Find out next.
Adam.
I'm Adam Gold, and I'm there.
Tim.
I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm there.
Dennis.
I'm Dennis Cox, and I'm there.
Victoria.
I'm Victoria Bodenecker, and I'm there.
Paul.
I'm Paul Eihander, and I'm there too.
You'll find them all here on the brand new 99.9 The Fan app. To work, to school, the beach, the mountains, the arena, take The Fan with you wherever you go. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today.
When it comes to your roof, it's all about quality above with peace of mind below. Hi, this is Holly with RoofWorks. We're proud to be in our 20th year helping families and businesses keep the roof over their heads as economically as possible. We work on every type of roof, gutters, and skylights with quality repairs, maintenance, and replacements for your home, your business, and multifamily. We offer warranties with every new roof and financing options for homeowners. And we're now serving Southern Pines as well. Visit us to learn more at roofwerks.com.
If you have a 2, 3, or 4% mortgage rate, don't refinance it. You don't have to, but you can still get cash out of your home. Introducing Loan Pronto's zero-cost equity loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. That's right. With Loan Pronto, you can get all the cash you need without touching your first mortgage and without any fees. One local homeowner just got $100,000, paid off all their credit cards, paid off their existing HELOC, remodeled their kitchen, and saved over $1,500 per month. It gets better. There's no hard credit pull up front, usually no appraisal, no long drawn-out process, and listen, no closing costs. You may be able to even skip your next 2 house payments. Call Loan Pronto now. Leave your low-rate mortgage intact, but get the cash you need in as little as 2 weeks without paying closing costs. LoanPronto.com. See how much you can get right now. Call 919-381-1760. That's 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. For qualified homeowners, equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSConsumerAccess.org. This hour of the drive is brought to you by Law Tigers. Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. Case evaluations are always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers.
Welcome back into The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline, one of the coaches getting ready for college football season. We're all getting ready for it, but Dowell Loggains has a little bit more prep to do than we do. We just got to get ready to sit on our couches. It's the App State head football coach joining us on the phone lines. Coach Loggains, we appreciate the time. I'm a former college quarterback, so I have to start there. You have like a whole new room, 3 transfers. What can you tell us about what you expect from the quarterbacks?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You got 3 new guys, and the most important thing you can do as a coach is find out each one of their strengths, and you play to their strengths. And we don't believe in building an offense. We believe in around what we like. We want to build an offense around the strengths of our players. So the process of figuring out each one of these guys has been really important. It obviously helps when they have tape and they have play experience. It makes it more challenging if you're going out their high school tape because you don't have any direction to start. You just know their skills. And sometimes a skill, they may be fast, but they may not be natural zone read guys, or they may be more direct runs. And you got to figure out what they're good at, and that's been the process through spring, summer, and through training camp for us is finding what each one does well and make sure that whoever's in the game that we're playing to their strengths and building the playbook around their strengths tied in with the offensive line and our skill players.
Take me through that process, because there's 2 things you have to do, right? What you just described, you have to figure out what they're good at, and then you have to figure out who's the right fit to start and play, right? So you have Singleton, Hasselbeck, Ulatowski. Where does that stand? What has it been like, trying to make both of those decisions?
Yeah, obviously Singleton was voted captain. We had 3 captains. An offensive, defensive, special teams captain. I wanted to get these captains named early. We want to be a player-led football team. Last year, I waited all the way through training camp, and we voted on captains way back in the spring because I wanted to make sure that our leaders were put in position to be successful through the summer. And I think that's sometimes hard. Sometimes when you anoint people, it gives them just gives them more confidence. So Malachi was a unanimous pick at offense. On offense is our team captain, with Colton Ferris on defense and Ammo Robinson on special teams. So for Mally to be named captain by his teammates was a huge confident boost for him. If we played today, Mally's going out there first. He's earned that. His teammates see that. We see that. He's done a really good job. Hasselbeck is a player that is a really good athlete. I coached his dad with the Titans way back in the day, and great athlete, highly recruited lacrosse player and quarterback. And then Tommy's a guy who has experience. So we've gone through this process of finding out what each one does. That process is unique, and I think it's the art of the coach, because sometimes you say, hey, we want to get dual threat guys, we want to get more speed, but then you assume what that looks like. You really got to go through it and figure out what each individual person does well. And sometimes you got to give them multiple reps at it and let them learn from their failures, or sometimes it clicks right away. And that's where the hard part is in coaching is you got to say, hey, give him a couple more reps of this. Let's make sure he doesn't see this thing well, there's nothing wrong with it. I've had a ton of players that don't like certain plays, quarterbacks, that you want those guys to be comfortable. But sometimes they don't know what they don't know. And sometimes I don't see that well. It's like, no, you need more reps at it to figure it out. And, that process is definitely challenging, but it comes with a lot of communication. We're really fortunate to have our quarterback coach, Riley Watkins, but our associate head coach is also Clyde Christensen, who's coached Tom Brady and Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning. So I feel really confident about the way that our guys get coached in the room and the vision we have for those guys. But it is definitely a process.
We're talking with Dowell Loggains, the App State head football coach, ahead of their opener coming up against Maine. It's going to be on September 5th at 3:30. Coach, you brought up your time with the Titans there a little bit, talk about the Hasselbecks. You've now been back in college for half a decade. Is it starting to feel more like the NFL, all these changes in college? Are you leaning maybe on the long time of your career that you did spend in the NFL because of, NIL and transfer portal, which some people call free agency and everything else?
Yep, absolutely, Tim. That's a great question. The game, the football part of it's different. So that part, like the game is different. The hashes are different. The still switching is different. The 20-hour rule makes that thing different. So there's definitely separation in the college game and the pro game. Now, how you roster construction is so much like the NFL game now. Like every college has a general manager. I think most of us, I'm going to speak at least for App, like we see the high school recruiting as the draft. Like we want to be a great draft team. We want to sign high school kids and develop. The transfer portal to me is like it's NFL free agency. And NFL free agency players, it's more expensive, but you're also getting a known commodity because most of them have tape. That's why you also, when you're a G5 and you're at App, you got to recruit so many more players. When we're in the SEC, like our board wasn't as big because we knew, hey, we're going to eliminate people. We're going to win with logos and money. And now for us, we have to understand that we have an all-conference player. The chances that he's going to be back on our roster are not great. Like I think there's maybe I know last year there wasn't one in 2025 one all-conference Sun Belt player that returned to his current team. I think there might have been one or two this year. So you have to understand the landscape, and you can complain and whine about that, or you can get to work and cast a bigger net and understand you have to recruit people for longer. And it's almost a theory of like, we're recruiting this guy, but if he goes to this P4 and it doesn't work out, like we want to be sitting in good position when he kicks back. So for us, we have to recruit a lot more kids, and it's more difficult that way. But I do think the NFL experience helps us be set up to do that. And we've formed our staff, our personnel staff. We have a general manager. We have a director of player personnel. We have a director of scouting. When I got here, there was one person in that department. I'm like, guys, in today's landscape, it can't be that. We have to have a huge department because when that transfer portal opens, I mean, it's speed dating, and you're watching guys, and you're sitting there all night. You're just grinding tape, and you're talking to agents now, which is crazy that college coaches and college front offices are talking to agents. We have guys now that are signing pro contracts and trying to come back and play college football, which is just wild. But I do think our NFL experience helps that way.
How are you handling the 5-for-5 stuff? Do you have players that you're monitoring? It just how does that even come across your desk as the head coach?
Yeah, I think it's so fluid, and the rules change all the time. And so I think it's part of you have to be open. You have to understand the rules. I spent 4 years in the SEC, so I know a lot of times you got to know the rules well enough to know how to break them. And then they change them on you. Or you stay ahead of the curve and know the rules so well, you know the loopholes of it. But I think it's just being very, very diligent. Once these COVID guys pass, the designated student athletes, then once we're through this transition, I think it's calmed down a lot.
We're talking with Dowell Loggains, App State head football coach. Coach, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I do want to talk defense a little bit, right? You said once you're a kind of a postseason all-conference player, it's maybe unlikely you're coming back. But a couple of your returners are preseason all Sun Belt. When you're looking at Aiden Benton and Colton Ferris, how good can that defensive front be with those two guys leading the way?
Yeah, we didn't have the year we wanted on defense. Statistically, we weren't very good at all. We were in the bottom 10%. So I hired an offensive coordinator for the first time to help me delegate some of the things on offense so I could help on defense more. We added a safeties coach, Aaron Fairball from Liberty. So I wanted to make sure last year we went in with 4 coaches on defense. Now we have 5, and I'm able to spend more time over there. But it does start with those 2 guys, like we just mentioned. Then those are a couple of guys that Colton was a really good player for, a team captain. And quite frankly, we had to fend off a lot of P4 people sliding in their DMs on both of those kids. And which is, it's going to happen 1 out of 50 kids. But when you're able to keep those 2 kids, both of them had offers a lot more money than they make here. And it's not going to happen all the time. But when you get guys that want to finish what they started, weren't happy with how the year went, have a chip on their shoulder and edge about getting this program back to constantly competing for championships, then you have a chance to have something special, because most people are going to chase the so-called bag, and they're so focused on what's next in their life. Like, this generation of kids just really struggles to be where your feet are, and the grass isn't always greener. And I think we've realized that through some of our guys leaving that call back and say, hey, that's a special place. I love the locker room. I miss y'all. I miss the locker room. I think those guys got to see that a little bit, which helped influence their decision. But those 2 have a chance to be really good and lead this defense and get us back to where the way we need to play defense.
Well, my mom's an App State grad. We have App State grads all over this office, and they all agree there's something special about Boone. So they'll co-sign what you were just saying there.
It's so unique that way, and I grew up, as a football coach and a football fan, and so about App and about how special the mountain is, but you really don't till you get here and you get to be a part of it, and then you really get to see it and you understand why. And it is a small community, and in some ways we struggle that way because we're a teacher's college. The game changed for us. The NIL has changed a lot of things for us, and it's taken away of some of our Superman powers of the culture, and we don't have Fortune 500 companies pouring into our program. We don't have that one huge donor that's just funding Jerry Jones in the program. But what you do feel is when one of our kids gets hurt, it's our donor, it's everyone calling, checking on him. Mom's calling donors saying, hey, can you just check on him? Can you hug him for me? And that's what makes this place so unique and so special. And we're battling to keep this program the way that it's always been, because there is something different about it, and there's something different about the people, and so that part, we want to keep that. We want to keep this culture. We want to keep the part as the landscape of college football changes. We want to keep the integrity of our program, which is a huge challenge right now for us.
Well, get back to it then, Coach. We appreciate you for taking the time and talking with us here today, and good luck this season.
I appreciate you, Tim. Have a good one.
Once again, that is Dowell Loggains, the head coach of the App State Mountaineers football team. I didn't have the time to tell him, but I'll make sure he gets the message. I hate Maine. They play Maine to open their season. I had my worst career game at Maine. I don't like the state. I played so bad. So I hope they run them up on the Black Bears. Make them want to run up north. I'll get the message there. You better know that. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Y'all think I'm joking. It's real. I don't like it when people go on fishing excursions to Maine, because it was that. We don't like them. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here to talk about something that's going to make me feel a little bit better. I got to get vibed back, right? It's Mainer Service Company. And the reason why they make me feel better is, you get to take away all that anxiety. Oh, no, what happens if air conditioner breaks and it's 100 degrees outside? What if the plumbing has huge issues and I've got family coming over? What happens if, whether it's heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical work, take away the what happens if, because we know the answer. If any of those bad things happen, I'm calling Mainer Service Company, and I'm letting them take care of it. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all across the triangle, highly trained technicians, great customer service. They leave your home exactly how they found it, so you can trust that the mess won't be compounded by the solution, right? That's an issue. So Mainer Service Company, they essentially do everything with common sense and great technique. The number to call, 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993, or visit them online at MainerServices.com. That's MAYNOR Services.com. Up next, the starting five. Don't go anywhere.
The NFL kicks off September 9th.
There goes Tommy down the right sideline across midfield. Tommy Tremble with the under. Touchdown! Touchdown! Chicago has caught a touchdown pass.
On 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Bryce Magic is real, and Coker has played the game of his life.
Presented by Fairway Green and Wake Med.
Gotta love it.
Hi friends, this is Mark Pons from Chapel Hill Tire. Your life is busy. Between work, family, and everything else on your calendar, finding time for car care isn't always easy. That's why I'm excited to share that our University Place and Crabtree locations are open Saturdays from 8 to 5. Whether you need tires, maintenance, or repairs, you'll now have more flexibility to take care of your car when it works best for you. It's just one more way we're working to make automotive service a little easier. Schedule your Saturday appointment at chapelhilltire.com and drive happy.
T-Mobile is launching something no other wireless network offers. Introducing Nothing. Pay nothing today and walk out of the store with a new phone.
What did he say?
Nothing.
You definitely said something about nothing.
Exactly. Go to T-Mobile, pay nothing up front, and leave with a new phone.
Wait, nothing rules.
She gets it.
Hey, thanks for nothing.
For the first time ever, switch to T-Mobile, pay nothing. No taxes, no fees, no money down. And walk out with a new phone. There are 250 reasons to choose T-Mobile, and now nothing is holding you back.
On eligible devices with qualifying credit plan and 36-month finance agreement.
It's time to celebrate Global Golf Raleigh's anniversary sale August 24th to the 29th. Save $50 off purchases of $300 and $125 on $600. Plus pre-owned Vokey wedges starting at $89.99 and take 20% off golf bags. Also get a huge 50% trade-in bonus towards your next upgrade. Visit the Global Golf Outlet at 7320 ACC Boulevard in North Raleigh. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6. Global Golf, home of the best deals in golf. Some exclusions apply. In-store offers only.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio, WCMC HD1 Holly Springs, 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, it's the weather.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. Tonight's forecast, partly cloudy with a low of 70. We're heating back up to 90 degrees on Thursday. It's partly sunny with a chance of hit or miss late day thunderstorms. That chance climbs to 60% on Friday with a high of 86.
Weather update brought to you by All-Star Dog Training. You've seen their dogs featured in college and professional sports. They can train your dog too. Visit allstardogtraining.com and schedule your free evaluation today. Happy National Dog Day today. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell down 113 points to 53,463.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Before we get to the starting five, did I hear it's National Dog Day there, Dennis?
It is.
Shout out to Blitzen.
Shout out to Mr. Popper.
Mr. Popper.
Yes.
And now, is it officially Mr. Popper, or is it Popper and then you add the Mr.?
I add the Mr.
Yeah. I feel like everybody has their dog's name and then like what you call your dog when no one's around. Mr. Popper. He's Blitzen. I call him Blitz. Except when no one's around, then he's the Blitzer. I'm always watching for the Blitzer. Shout out National Dog Day. The starting five is brought to you by Baker Home Exteriors. The Baker family has roofed the Carolinas since 1915. Baker Home Exteriors, roofing, siding, windows, and doors, always good work. BakerHomeExteriors.com. As always, we start with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
2 running back set. Bailey keeps. Bailey dives to the end zone. Touchdown! NC State! And now the fireworks go off on time.
ESPN has put out their list annually, and you always know a lot of people worked on it. A lot of people were involved when the byline on ESPN.com just says ESPN. A lot of people come together as far as those that cover college football, and they put together a panel, and they decide the top 100 players going into a college football season in order. It's not just the top 100. It's the top 100 ranked from 1 to 100. From, you might say, Jackson Eck, the New Mexico senior linebacker, all the way to, and there's really no suspense here, but I'll make you wait a second, Jeremiah Smith, wide receiver, Ohio State, number 1. Somewhere between those two is at least one player that plays their college football right here in the triangle. And when I say at least, I mean exactly one player. C.J. Bailey is number 68. 68th best player in the country, according to ESPN's assembled group of analysts, writers, journalists, experts. What I like to, by the way, I feel like we've done a pretty good job. These lists are designed just to get people upset and arguing. A lot of lists have come out recently that I go like, nah, that makes sense, which is not taking the bait. I think 68 makes sense for him, and I like even more that at the end they had like some question and answers with the panels, and Adam Rittenberg singled out C.J. Bailey as one of the players who he could see making a jump by the time they update this list mid-season. I think right now what C.J. Bailey has, and it is both a gift and a curse word, he has an insane amount of potential this season. If he reaches anywhere close to how good I think this season could be for him, he will be significantly better than 68 by midseason and significantly higher than that by end of season. Potential, though, the reason why it's both a gift and a curse is there's nothing guaranteed about it, right? You got to go out there, you got to play the game, you got to make it happen. You have to make good on it. So he's physically very talented. He has developed year over year, meaning from his true freshman year when he played a whole bunch to his sophomore year when he was the BMOC, big man on campus, to now the junior year, which is, it's old hat by now. He's seen everything. He has developed a ton in how he sees the game. I think there's a really good chance for him. Nobody else from the schools in the state of North Carolina on the list. Darian Mensah is higher. He obviously, I guess, is kind of from one of the schools in the state of North Carolina.
Routed through here?
He's number 23. Quarterback, Miami. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
Lopez to the end zone. He's got ship. Touchdown, Carolina.
Saturday, week 0 football games. Real, they count, college football games. I have to say, Carolina, they're taking on TCU out there in Dublin first. The most frustrating part of Carolina is very simple. I want to preview this game, but I still think the biggest, most impactful elements of Carolina getting their season started are the not really on the field stuff. I believe today marks a month of Michael Lombardi on paid administrative leave.
30 days.
Their GM. In a separate category, we still don't know when or if Steve Belichick, their defensive coordinator, will be back. He's on medical leave.
As far as I understand, he did not make the trip because they flew out today.
So, assuming that there's no big surprises, you're not going to have your defensive coordinator calling plays. These are pretty, especially a defensive coordinator, pretty impactful elements. And They don't involve, like, you know, who's going to stop the running game for TCU? You know what I mean? They don't involve, are they going to be able to attack every part of the field with their passing games this year, because they did get caught going pretty much exclusively outside the numbers at times last season when Freddie Kitchens was their offensive coordinator. Like, there are real tangible football things that I'm going to be interested in seeing how they fix them from last year. But also, there's some real distraction type things going on with that program that, you know, some are within their control, some are outside their control. But it's going to be a real test in compartmentalizing for the Carolina Tar Heels. And then you throw in, I mean, Dennis just brought up they traveled today. There's nothing routine about this week. It's week 0. You're coming out of training camp. You don't have your defensive coordinator. You have a ridiculously long flight to a foreign country. Time difference. There's a lot going on there. Dennis, have you seen the talk of the travel for, I think it's the Australia game in the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
I think the Rams are flying in like last second, and they're just going to stay on, you know, West Coast time. And now I'm blanking on who they're playing. Is it
San Francisco, right?
San Fran. I was going to say, is it San Fran? They're getting there like a week early and trying to acclimate. It's interesting, right? If you have a real time difference to fight jet lag, do you just show up at the last second, play, get the heck out of there? It's basically what the Rams are doing.
Yeah, just don't even worry about adjusting.
Yeah,
like, you know what? I got energy right now. Stepping off this plane. Let's go play.
We're playing an afternoon game. Let's pretend it's a night game. Like, you know, blackout curtains and it's, I don't know.
It's actually the Chargers. No, I'm sorry. I take the back. It is the 49ers.
Okay.
My apologies.
Yeah, they're all
the Rams play the Chargers in a preseason game.
All the California teams are the same.
It's weird, a divisional game for that, by the way. That's a different conversation.
The other side of week 0, for at least us here locally, is NC State at Charlottesville. That's as scenic as Dublin, Ireland, right?
All right.
This one, it is a lot of football talk, right? It's actually for the first time in a while for Virginia, because Virginia, it's been a lot of hot seat coaching talk over the last few years, but they make it to the ACC championship game last year. Feels like they've turned a corner. They're talking football. I think one of the strengths of Dave Doran is, it's always about football with Dave Doran, and it's been that way for over a decade as the head coach of NC State. I don't know if there's a team that hinges more on one half of the ball than the way NC State hinges on their defense. It was uncharacteristic last year. They had a really tough job on third downs. They did not do great rushing the passer. I think we'll know early what the potential for this NC State team is, meaning the first couple of weeks, if their defense looks significantly different than last year, I think we reopen the 10-win conversation. We reopen where they are in the ACC hierarchy conversation. But I need to see their defense play better. I need to see their defense be stronger than it was a season ago. That's number 4. Let's head to number 3. The Tour Championship starts tomorrow. 30 golfers, the ones that have earned their way through FedEx Cup points over the last however many months to make the Tour Championship. Big money on the line. East Lake, really fun venue. They've simplified the structure of it all, meaning they've simplified. It got really, really convoluted a few years ago where players were starting with a 10-stroke lead. Players were starting with 4-stroke, 8-stroke leads. Prior to that, you'd have one player winning the tournament. You'd have another player who's not winning the tournament winning the Tour Championship. So they have streamlined it a bit where at least the person walking off 18 with the best score is going to be the winner on Sunday. But also, you know, you would never think of it like this if you're a golfer on tour. But I don't know, we're in the triangle and we're in ACC country here. I think a good college basketball analogy is pretty darn awesome. There are the Dukes and Carolinas. They judge their season how? National championships, right? Think of that as Scotty Scheffler, Cam Young, a player that played his college golf at Wake Forest, right? When you're one of the top 5, 6, 7 guys in the world, you count in championships, right? The only way you have success this weekend is to win the Tour Championship, add that to your legacy. But then there's maybe mid-majors, right? Think Davidson, ECU, Queens, and maybe making the Elite Eight is like hang a banner worthy, you know what I mean? Maybe making the tournament is like, hey, this is going to change the future of our program. There's some of those out of the area as well. Alex Fitzpatrick, Akshay Bhatia. Alex Fitzpatrick played at Wake. Akshay Bhatia lives locally. Throw in a player like Alex Smalley from Duke, right? These guys making the Tour Championship, their season's already a rousing success, right? Think of Cinderella, who's made it to the second weekend, right? It's like this season's already awesome. You already have a couple highlight moments that are going to be legendary around your program forever. It's all gravy from this point. If they finish top 15 this weekend, fire up a parade, right? Start the celebrations. If they finish top 10, take the jet to Vegas. Like it's that kind of stuff. So it'll be really fun at the top to see who's going to, battle for the wins, and also near the end to see who's going to finish with an exclamation point to an already successful season. The only player with a locally that I haven't mentioned yet is Ryan Gerard. He's somewhere in the middle, played his college golf at UNC. I believe he has the 19th best odds to win the Tour Championship. So it's, he's not quite just happy to be there, but he's also not like, this season this weekend is a disappointment if I'm not top 5. He's somewhere in the middle there. Really good golfer. Probably has some Team USA possibilities when you're talking, President's Cup, Ryder Cup, that sort of thing. That's number 3. How about number 2?
Just the two of us. Wrong, sir. Wrong.
Hilarious intro based on what we're going to talk about. There's like a new entry, a new contender into the college eligibility. All right, Dennis, I'm going to need your help. I'm going wrestling analogy here. What's the matches where like guys just come running out and you never know who's going to be there?
Like a Royal Rumble.
A Royal Rumble,
yeah.
Perfect. We had seen players, we had seen agents, we had seen NCAA, we had seen all of these people mixing it up, and then all of a sudden we said, is that the conference's music? All of a sudden conferences are getting in the mix. Rather than just watching the NCAA and players, the NCAA and agents battle it out in court, and then, just however those rulings go, the conferences would adjust. The conferences threw their hat in the ring. They're throwing some punches. The Big Ten jumped in first, got together, unanimously voted to ban former NFL players from coming back to college and playing. And when I say former NFL players, I mean anybody that's declared for the draft and then not withdrawn from the draft ahead of time. Anybody that's been on a roster, anybody that's signed a contract in the NFL is ineligible to go back to college, which seems logical until you recognize that a bunch of them had been planning on going back to college over the last few weeks. Then all of a sudden you see the SEC making a similar rule. Big 12's getting involved. The ACC supposedly today is considering a similar ban. And this is going to sound ridiculous, but, legal situations often do. There are those out there that believe if the NCAA makes a rule that players that quote-unquote should have eligibility based on new rules but didn't when their career ended and went pro, if the NCAA says you are not allowed to come back to college and play, that will not be enforceable in the courts, because the courts are going to say you are preventing them the ability to earn money that they should be able to earn. However, if every conference independently makes the same rule, so ipso facto, players cannot go back to college, that would be enforceable in court, because no conference themselves is preventing the players from making their living and having that chance to earn money, because they could go play for another conference, right? The Big Ten is saying they just can't play for us. We're not saying they can't play in college. But if every conference has that same rule, judges would allow it to happen. Does that make sense? Not to me.
None of it makes sense.
If it works, I'm kind of for it, right? It's like, is it stupid? It's not stupid if it works. If it keeps college sports the way it should be, which is professional player less, I'm cool with it. Do whatever you got to do. If you have to, physically bar the door and not let them in, make it happen. I don't know if it'll hold up, but I like the idea of it. Dennis, what do you think of the conferences getting in the mix?
I like the idea of it. I am curious again, like, how does this all hold up in court? I wonder what the ACC and other conferences are going to adopt in terms of the specificity of these rules. Because we saw the SEC not only apply this to players coming from professional football, but from WNBA or other professional women's leagues, and same thing with NBA and other professional men's basketball leagues. So they're incorporating multiple sports, multiple levels of professional sports in the SEC, whereas opposed to the Big Ten was just saying, not just these football players. So what does the ACC do? What does the Big 12 do? So again, I think we talked to Manny Diaz about this, about how the SEC might say no, the Big 12 might say, yeah, sure, come play over here. So you might have to face that player that might not be eligible in your. It's kind of interesting to see what kind of evolves from all this.
I mean, that's the question you have to ask yourself as a conference, as a leadership, is, are you willing to enforce this rule if other schools aren't? Right? Is the SEC willing to say pro players can't come play for us if, I don't know, the Big Ten already said no, and the SEC. So if they say the ACC is allowing NFL players to come back and play in college, is the SEC willing to inherently just have that disadvantage on principle? That's the question. I want to see the MAC. I want to see the American come out and go, oh yeah, we're looking into the eligibility of Patrick Mahomes. Like, I want them to. I don't want them, but that's the chaos that could happen. I don't want that to happen. Let me take that back immediately. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
Go one! I feel great about playing football right now.
I hope that's still true, because some reports, that was Dave Canales, by the way, saying that, and that was in the middle of an offseason a couple years ago. The reports out of joint practice today, where the Carolina Panthers and Houston Texans squared off, not great, right? There was quite a bit of like, oh, that drill was, or that set of plays, offense, defense, was ruined by the edge rushers of the Houston Texans. And then it really wasn't just the reports of, it was straight from the head coach's mouth. Here's Dave Canales summing up how joint practices went for the Panthers against the Texans.
In 2 words, Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson. I think that's 4 words, actually. But those guys are fantastic players. That's exactly what we need to see. Monroe needs it. Rashid needs it. When we dropped back today, we couldn't really do much other than Bryce extending and getting a couple of plays going. The rush was phenomenal. And that's exactly, just the information we need to be able to regroup. The run game was fine. I can't wait to go see the defensive side. Heard reports, some good, some bad, but all in all, a physical practice, nothing crazy popped off with the guys. A couple of little extra physical plays. The guys handled it well, got right back to work, and so I was really proud of that.
When the coach is so openly saying, like, yeah, our guys got kind of roasted, that means anybody there knew beyond a shadow of a doubt, right? There's not even like the, well, the way the play call was, he was supposed to use it, the guard was supposed to give him, like, there's no plausible deniability. He's just up there like, yeah, those two had a rough day. Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter kind of, stole their lunch money, gave him a wedgie, dumped the swirly, and kept it moving. Which, yeah, I mean, if there's no use hiding it, right? Here's more from Canales on that very same topic.
Yeah, it was pretty lopsided today, I'll be honest. I would say that in general over camp, I'm very excited about where we're at as an offense in our scheme, the variation of the run game, the actions tied into that, the drop back pass game, Bryce's rhythm with a lot of our guys, with T-Mac, Xavier hasn't been out there, but with Jalen, just finding different ways to get completions. And also I've been really encouraged by that. Today did not show that. Today there was a couple of flashes of some nice throws and catches, but that was a good group today. So again, I try not to just take it all in a microcosm, but if we want to be good, we have to be able to play against teams like this.
If we want to be good, we have to be able to play against teams like this.
Facts.
That's the, fortune cookie wisdom of a joint practice like this. Lick your wounds, and I'm talking now kind of to the players that were getting beat. Lick your wounds, right? Don't feel sorry for yourself. Watch the film, and it's going to hurt, right? Have the hard conversations, and then fix it. And then fix it, because the Houston Texans defense is a playoff caliber defense, right? The Houston Texans defense is if your quarterback doesn't throw 4 interceptions in the postseason, you might win a Super Bowl defense. And that's what you're chasing. That's the goal. That's the North Star. So good lessons. Good lessons. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. But first, we have to grab some numbers game contestants. But first, before even that, we have a few things we have to do. I have to remind you that the starting five is brought to you by Baker Home Exteriors for roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Trust the team that's been doing good work for over 100 years. Baker Home Exteriors, roofing the Carolinas since 1915. And yes, by the way, we do have to grab numbers game contestants, but I said a few things to do before that. Before we grab numbers game contestants, here's Dennis Cox.
Hey everyone, Dennis Cox here real quick for my good friends over at Law Tigers. We always talk about in sports, control what you can control. And as a motorcycle rider, there are certainly things that you can control. Where you're riding in your lane positioning, making sure that you're a good distance between the vehicles in front of you, always having an escape when you're out there on the road. But as a motorcycle rider, there are a lot more variables to take into account. And oftentimes that can lead to something that could be pretty harsh for you, as in terms of a motorcycle accident. And if you are injured in a motorcycle accident, make sure you contact the people that are there to fight for you, and those are Law Tigers at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, or visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers attorneys are part of the motorcycle riding community. They understand what your bike is worth, they understand what your gear is worth, but also they understand the risks of the road. That's why your case evaluation with Law Tigers, it's always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. So give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, if you're injured in a motorcycle accident, even before you get in touch with the insurance company. 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
Now we can grab numbers game contestants. If you want to play the numbers game and potentially win yourself a $25 Auto Bell car wash gift card, get the car looking brand new, call in now. 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. As I said, for your chance to compete in the numbers game and potentially win a $25 Auto Bell car wash gift card. 919-860-5326. We need 2 contestants. Numbers game next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
The NCAA could have been the bus driver on this. They could have taken control and been the adult in the room a long time ago. And they kept kicking the can down the road. And they just have never been big picture thinkers or been the leaders that they need to be, which is why we have issue after issue after issue, with 5 for 5 and the timing of this being the latest.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
A lot has changed since 1915. The way the Baker family treats people hasn't. They've roofed the Carolinas for over 100 years. The motto puts it plainly: we shall do good work, at a profit if we can, at a loss if we must, but always good work. Trust the team that's kept that promise for generations. Baker Home Exteriors. Always good work. Visit BakerHomeExteriors.com.
Hey, it's Paul Lyhander for DraftKings. Something big is coming. On September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive offers, and an all-day celebration built for sports fans. Sign up with DraftKings today with code Paul and get ready to celebrate the biggest day of the season, whatever you're betting. DraftKings Game Day has deals dropping all day long. One app, every sport. DraftKings Game Day is yours. Mark the date. September 2nd. DraftKings Game Day is the kickoff of your new season, a new era, and the biggest day in sports history. Get ready to celebrate. New DraftKings customers sign up with code Paul. Spend $5 to get $200 in bonus bets within 21 days. That's code Paul. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 in non-withdrawable bonus bets issued every 7 days via click to claim for 21 days. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer.
Discover the thrill of precision and elegance with Omega at Bailey's Fine Jewelry. From the depths of the ocean to the heights of space, Omega's Seamaster and Speedmaster collections are crafted for those who dare to explore. With a heritage rooted in innovation and a timeless style inspired by sports, space, and cinematic legends, Omega is the gift for every adventurer. Find your perfect watch at Bailey's Fine Jewelry in Raleigh's Village District. Voted best jeweler. Learn more at BaileyBox.com.
Logan Fury did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he bought a mini treadmill. Is walking on it during video conference calls more distracting than he thought? Yes. And is that because he overestimated his foot-eye coordination? Definitely. But it's Logan's savings, and if he wants to burn calories and any chance at a promotion, we say, good for you, Logan. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. Our contestants for today, we have Dave in Fuquay-Varina, we have Chad in Knightdale, and they will be battling it out with jersey number trivia or a $25 Autobell car wash gift card. But first, we have to bring them each onto the show. We will ask them the same question. Dennis will be the judge. He'll pick his favorite answer, and that person will get to go first, and we'll go from there. We'll start with Dave in Fuquay-Varina. Dave, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right. In honor of Dolly Parton passing away yesterday, and we honored her with quite a few ins and outs, the songs play that go in and out of commercials. I will ask you this. What is the greatest song sung by a female singer, a woman singer, because she's like the diva, right? What is the greatest song from a female artist?
I Will Always Love You, the Whitney Houston version.
Okay, she wrote it. She had some good versions she sung as well. Dennis, any follow-ups?
No questions.
All right, we roll to Chad in Knightdale. Chad, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
In honor of Dolly Parton passing away yesterday, what is the greatest song from a female artist of all time?
I'm going to have to go with Jolene by Dolly herself. You know, that song was actually based off of a real bank teller that had a crush on her husband. That's got to be it.
I didn't tell either of them to choose this, Dennis, but these are two songs that Dolly Parton wrote on the same day.
Yeah, they did. Or she did write them on the same day. This is actually a tough one.
It's a personal preference thing. This is choosing between, like diamonds and platinum. Like it's warm chocolate chip cookies and like unbelievable cake of some kind. Like
I might go with chocolate chip cookies on that one.
Well, I'm just saying there's no wrong answer.
This is actually really difficult because the cover by Whitney Houston, you could say, is actually the better version of the song.
Which is the one that was chosen by Dave. It's in the movie, the what is it? The
bodyguard.
The bodyguard. I was going to say the security guard, but that's too
I was
Paul
close.
Mall cop for me.
Yeah, exactly. This is difficult. I'm gonna go. I'll go Jolene on this one.
All right.
I'll go Jolene. Because that one again it was personal.
It was. The people used I love the joke that's made every couple of years where somebody posts a picture of young Dolly Parton and says, "I want to know who Jolene was if this person was worried about her man leaving," because obviously she was quite attractive. Chad will get to go first. Dave and Fuquay, you'll have your chance. Just have to sit on hold for a second or two before you have your chance. Chad, are you ready to pick a category?
Yes, sir.
All right. The categories are NFL, late August birthdays, so players born in late August. Major League Baseball.
My birthday. My birthday's August 31st.
Well, happy almost birthday, and maybe that's a category you choose.
Yeah, it is.
Major League Baseball switch hitters, NBA players that were teammates of Garrett Temple, or NHL Hurricanes only?
I'll take late August birthdays.
I had a
NFL.
feeling with how excited you became. I had a feeling. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock, one pass if you need it. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No, sir.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Kyron Williams, Los Angeles Rams.
34.
Incorrect. Drake May, New England Patriots.
17.
Incorrect. Kyron Williams, Los Angeles Rams.
30.
Incorrect. Drake May, New England Patriots.
7.
Incorrect. Kyron Williams, Los Angeles Rams.
Pass.
Sauce Gardner, Indianapolis Colts.
21.
Incorrect. Drake May, New England Patriots.
18.
Incorrect. Kyron Williams, Los Angeles Rams.
God, 31.
Incorrect. Sauce Gardner, Indianapolis Colts.
25.
Incorrect.
Oh, my God. Wow.
I mean, maybe you should pick the categories based on which sport you know best and not just that it was your birthday was involved. If you're looking for advice, that's what I would give you.
Yeah.
Kyron Williams, number 23. Drake May, 10. Sauce Gardner, 1. For those of you playing at home. Chad, you are on the board with a 0. We call that an offer.
Awesome.
But you're still alive for the win because a double offer, a tie, goes to whoever goes first. So stay on the line. We'll see if you get lucky. Let's bring in Dave from Fuquay Arena. Dave, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right, it's not a high bar to jump over, but you do have to pick a category here. Major League Baseball.
The Hurricanes.
Okay. You're waiving your right to hear the categories, going straight for the Canes?
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. I will say the team in this category, even though we know it, just to keep it fair timing-wise with the other categories. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Logan Stankoven, Carolina Hurricanes.
24.
Incorrect. Mikko Rantanen, Carolina Hurricanes.
98.
Incorrect. Logan Stankoven, Carolina Hurricanes.
26.
Incorrect. Mikko Rantanen, Carolina Hurricanes.
99.
Incorrect. Logan Stankoven, Carolina Hurricanes.
25.
Incorrect. Mikko Rantanen, Carolina Hurricanes.
95.
Incorrect. Logan Stankoven, Carolina Hurricanes.
21.
Incorrect. Mikko Rantanen, Carolina Hurricanes.
93.
Incorrect. Logan Stankoven, Carolina Hurricanes.
20.
Wrong, sir. Wrong.
It's actually kind of impressive that every guess was in the right group of 10, but none of them were right. 22 for Logan Stankoven and 96 for Mikko Rantanen. You were in the 20s and in the 90s the whole time and somehow came up empty. It's probably more impressive to do that than it is to get them right. But unfortunately, a tie goes to whoever goes first, Dave. So you're not the winner. Hopefully, you had some fun though.
Yep. Thank you.
Double offer. That was a weird double offer, if we're being real. Chad and Nightdale, you're the winner. Congratulations.
Yeah. All right.
Hey.
An ugly win, still a win.
Exactly. They don't ask how; they ask how many.
Yep.
And now you can go get your car. So there's your score dirt left in your car. 0. Autobell Car Wash gift card coming your way. Stay on the line. Dennis will grab the info he needs to make sure you get your prize.
You know how I picture Chad right now?
Yeah.
When Dave was going over, Frank Beamer,
Yeah.
Virginia Tech. Hey, we're 3-3.
It was 0-0.
I'm sorry,
wasn't it?
0-0. Like this field goal, like we're going into overtime, baby. Let's go. Yes.
There's a really good meme of that online.
That's how I picture Chad right now. Just Frank Beamer.
That is the second time in the last week where a pretty prominent Canes number was the first guess incorrectly. Last week we had somebody whose first Canes guess was 17 and it wasn't Rod Brindamore. And then we just had our first guess was Seth Jarvis's number. It wasn't Seth Jarvis. It's a number that I don't know. It's people panic under the lights, and I know. It's something that you would never do, just talking with your friends about the Canes, and then you get on the radio, you hear the music, the whole thing, and all of a sudden you get brain freeze. But it's 24 is Seth Jarvis.
I mean, especially when you're like, I'm not going to hear the rest of the categories. Give me Canes.
Yeah, that's true, too.
Give me Canes. It's just the guy that scored the most goals this postseason.
I didn't think about that. You might just want to hear the categories just in case you have a brain freeze, so it doesn't seem like you're that confident. But hey, they tied for first, right? You can be competitive without being quality. Chad in Nightdale. At least they picked good songs. Let's give them credit where credit is due. At least they picked good songs for the who gets to go first question, even if they weren't our best numbers game individuals. We will play tomorrow. We will have the $25 Autobell Car Wash gift card yet again for you. So if you want to get the car clean, be listening about 5:30 tomorrow here on The Drive. Speaking of when you want to be listening here on 99.9 The Fan, we have Wolfpack Weekly coming up immediately after the show. So if you want to hear from Dave Doran as they get ready for a Week 0 game, as the NC State Wolfpack get ready for a Week 0 game on the road at Virginia, you can hear that right here on 99.9 The Fan. I believe it starts right at the top of the hour. So 6 o'clock, be tuned in right here, maybe 6:02, right, give or take a minute or two. Don't tune in, and if you don't hear it right away, bail. But Wolfpack Weekly, right at the top of the hour, should be a really interesting one as they get ready for Virginia this week. Right here, as I said, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Dennis, you have a message for the people.
Hey, everyone. Dennis Cox here real quick for my friends over at Loan Pronto. If you have a 2%, 3%, or 4% mortgage rate right now, don't refinance it. You don't have to, but you can still get cash out of your home. Introducing Loan Pronto's zero-cost equity loan. That's right. With Loan Pronto, you can get all the cash you need without touching your first mortgage and without any fees. One local homeowner just got $100,000. They paid off all their credit cards, paid off their existing HELOC, remodeled their kitchen, and saved over $1,500 per month. It gets better. There's no hard credit pull up front, usually no appraisal, no long drawn-out process. And listen, no closing costs. You may even be able to skip your next 2 house payments. Call Loan Pronto now. Leave your low-rate mortgage intact, but still get the cash that you need in as little as 2 weeks without paying closing costs. LoanPronto.com. See how much you can get right now. 919-381-1760. That's 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. For qualified homeowners. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll be back with some sad news personally for a sports event that had major nostalgia. For me, it's going away. I'll tell you what next.
Excuse me, you think you could spare a square?
Sorry, what?
A square on your smartphone.
Oh, yeah, for the 99.9 The Fan app.
Exactly. Listen to your favorite hosts, teams, and live sports action.
The Carolina Hurricanes are the best team in the NHL. They won the 2026 Stanley Cup.
And every podcast episode at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere.
Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today.
A torn ACL, stress fracture, aching back, a hip that's had it, life on hold, and all you want is to get it back. Enter Wake Orthopedics. We do it all. In fact, we see patients within 48 hours for everything from sports injuries, spine care, and joint replacement to minimally invasive procedures, surgeries, pediatrics, and more. Visit us today at wakemed.org and get back your life.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone.
What are you working on today?
Truck started slow. Battery might be toast.
Slow starts are the first sign of heat damage to your battery. We'll test it, no charge.
Thanks. And if it is dead?
We'll set you up with a new, fully warranted battery, some up to 5 years, and we'll recycle the old one.
Thanks for the rundown. Lead the way.
Get free battery testing, charging, and recycling at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
With Bet365 Early Payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina.
This hour of the drive is brought to you by Law Tigers. Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call Law Tigers before you call your insurance company. Case evaluations are always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. All right, I want to make this really dramatic, and I want to make this. It's going to be a little bit of a comedy bit, if you will. But also, I want to be clear, everybody. This is nothing serious. This is nothing that's actually going to impact you. So stick with us for the entertainment, but I don't want anybody actually worried. I'm going to take you back to the early 2000s. I'm going to take you back to 2002. A young me and my family had just recently moved to Kaneohe. I was a little football-crazed individual. But all the football, at least NFL, was so far away. People in Hawaii just kind of randomly picked a team to be their favorite. It didn't make sense to me. Didn't have a local team. Didn't have the local games to go see. But you know what we did have? We did have the Pro Bowl. So on Christmas morning, 2002 through 2006 or 7, I don't know what it was, I would wake up Christmas morning. I'd open my presents, and sure enough, in one of those presents my parents would have, usually would just be a printout that would say tickets to the Pro Bowl. And then that summer, when it was warm, we would get to go to the Pro Bowl. And I would get to see the stars of the time, the Randy Mosses, the Donovan McNabbs. I'd get to see the Tom Bradys. Actually probably not, because he'd probably playing in the Super Bowl. But we'd get to see all of the best. And it was actually really fun. Which is why this news probably hits me a little bit harder than it hits many of you. According to The Athletic, the NFL Pro Bowl is being eliminated. On Wednesday, league executives presented to team owners the future of the Pro Bowl, which will no longer have a standalone game, be it tackle or flag football or games. It will simply have 88 players. This according to the Athletic. 88 players will receive the Pro Bowl honor with no alternates, which The Athletic reports is corralling a key aspect of the All-Star game that had gotten out of whack in recent years. I get it. I understand why. I like the Pro Bowl. Again, it's just me, and it's nostalgia, and you can't tell me it stinks. I'm of the era where Sean Taylor would absolutely annihilate punters on fake punts in the Pro Bowl, not the era where guys half-heartedly play flag football because they don't want to get hurt, so they just go through the motions. The way the Pro Bowl had become, it was unworthy of the Pro Bowl name. So eliminating this version of the Pro Bowl doesn't upset me as much as I'm making it out to be. I do think there should be something done, though, because the role of the Pro Bowl, as any All-Star game, is it's not to have a super competitive game. Although for a long time, the best way to achieve the goal I'm going to tell you was to have a super competitive game. The role of the Pro Bowl, And the role of every All-Star game and the role of every All-Star weekend and the role of every All-Star festivities and dunk contest and home run derby and skills competition, the role is to create new fans. Right? When you are a kid, you are not as excited about the schemes and the X's and O's and fantasy and gambling, right? All of these things are above the head of the kids. So what the kids want is their favorite players, right? I want to watch the stars, right? And an all-star game, a Pro Bowl puts all of them in one place, and it just becomes overload. It becomes exciting. It becomes something where you go, I'm a big fan of that guy. Now I want to watch his regular season games. So I do think something needs to take the place for the NFL. It doesn't have to be an all-star game. Maybe the award show is not really there. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's remember Battle of the Network Stars from back in the day? Maybe you get the players together and you do camp games, tug of war, three-legged race with celebrities. I don't know, but there has to be something. I don't care if you build it for TikTok. I wouldn't necessarily watch it, but if that's where the kids are living, that's where you have to meet the kids. There should be something that helps the NFL build new young fans. Because if you just depend on you're the king of popularity right now and, every game rates super high on TV, but you don't continue to plant seeds of the next generation, eventually you'll run out. Right? So all-star games, all-star weekends, all-star weeks, Pro Bowl weekends, the Pro Bowl events, the nonsense they've been running recently. It's still of the same goal. It's not a super competitive game where guys are laying it out there on the line like it used to be. But the goal is still to gather the next generation of fans and indoctrinate them into the NFL way. Right? Because, I see it with my 5-year-old. He has a favorite player. Sebastian Aho is his favorite player. He still sometimes doesn't always hit Sebastian every syllable the right way, but we know who he's talking about. Now, if you're watching a all-star game and Aho is a part of it, and Connor McDavid does something really cool, right? Or somebody else has a highlight play, that's how you take a Sebastian Aho fan and you turn it into you know what? When Connor McDavid is on, I will watch, right? And you may say, everybody knows Connor McDavid, not 5-year-olds. Right? They don't. It's not. You're not born with knowledge of the best players. The all-star games are where that crossover can happen. So be creative, NFL. Take the 88 players. I love that there's no alternates, by the way. I mean, what was it, Tyler Huntley?
Yeah, I would say Tyler Huntley's not going to be, QB 15.
It's actually going to make this era of player really strange. Like Mitch Trubisky was a Pro Bowler.
He was.
Jameis Winston was a Pro Bowler.
That he was.
Tyler Huntley was a Pro Bowler. Was Shedeur Sanders was a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, Shedeur Sanders competed in the Pro Bowl last year.
Because 2015 and earlier, the Pro Bowl was kind of real, and now from this point forward, no alternates. It's going to be real. So those guys that got the random kind of participation trophy Pro Bowls in the middle are just going to be in a place in history where it's like, wow, you're a Pro Bowler. It's not going to make a ton of sense looking back on it, 30, 40 years from now. But the NFL should not ignore the role that the Pro Bowl was supposed to play. That's all I'm saying. Then you can ignore the actual Pro Bowl or do away with it, which it seems they are. But there should be something done. I don't know what it is. Ask the Kelseys. They'll host some kind of game show. And Travis and somehow they'll get more rich off of it, Travis and Jason Kelce. But there should be something. That's how I'll leave it. Dennis, do you care about the Pro Bowl at all? I want to admit my bias. I know I have a heightened version of what it is and what it should be.
I used to enjoy it because they actually used to play a game and it was fun. It's like, oh, here's all my best player, or all my the best players in the league and my favorite players all getting together and playing. I thought it was super cool. But then it kind of devolved into, it's just course. Yeah. It just got worse and worse. It's just the fact that, I'm not going to play, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to participate anymore. But so eventually kind of fell out of. I haven't watched the Pro Bowl games. I stopped caring. But I don't know. I used to enjoy it. I like Sean Taylor running over the Brian Mormon, the punter.
I mean,
that was fun.
the Pro Bowl used to be real. Like,
oh, they played.
Like, if you had 100 yards in a Pro Bowl, like, you earned 100 yards. It's not exactly the case anymore.
There was the incentive where the winning team got paid more than the losing team.
I do think the money has, and we've seen this in other sports, the amount of money that guys get paid on their like regular contracts now has made it nearly impossible to financially incentivize all-star games. Because, you give another $250,000 to the winner, to a guy that's making $19 million a year, it's not worth risking the injury. And I don't know why I picked 19. Some guys are making way more than that. Granted, some are making less. But I do think the way the money has exploded has made it difficult to financially incentivize. Because like the NFL can't put up, $10 million to each winner and $5 million to each loser. Like they can't do that. I don't know. Put them through like the Amazing Race or something. There needs to be something that draws in new fans. That's all I'm saying. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're about to be done, but Wolfpack Weekly is up next. Dave Doran, how are they getting ready for UVA? Stick around to find out here on 99.9 The Fan, and we'll see you tomorrow at 3. Until then, have a great night, everybody.
Adam.
I'm Adam Gold, and I'm there.
Tim.
I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm there.
Dennis.
I'm Dennis Cox, and I'm there.
Victoria.
I'm Victoria Bodenecker, and I'm there.
Paul.
I'm Paul Eihander, and I'm there too.
You'll find them all here on the brand new 99.9 The Fan app. To work, to school, the beach, the mountains, the arena, take The Fan with you wherever you go. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. On the Wolfpack Sports Network from Learfield, this is Wolfpack Sports Today, your daily look inside NC State athletics. Now here's Wolfpack Sports Today.
I'm Matt Chasnow. Another legal decision affects the roster. Wolfpack Sports Today is next.
The fall is a great time to start thinking about upgrading your home. Destiny Pool Builders is a full-service pool company that can provide all your residential pool needs. Building full pool projects in the Triangle with over 30 years of experience. Contact us today at destinypoolbuilders.com to build your backyard dream or to service your existing pool. Destiny Pool Builders, where we provide yesterday's service at today's pace.
NC State kicks off at Virginia Saturday. One of last year's cornerbacks, Jamel Johnson, was back on the squad briefly and ruled eligible for another year by a court until last week. That was suddenly put on hold. Johnson finished last year with 27 tackles. Head coach Dave Doran.
Well, we planned on not having Jamel, right? And so it's not like, oh my God, what are we going to do? We knew when we added him that it wasn't done. So we've planned for life with and life without. But it speaks to where we're at in college football. There's ongoing things with multiple players. I see these guys from the NFL that are getting granted the opportunity to come back and play that have been cut or released from teams, and different times, man. And you just kind of, all right, what can we do today? And what should we do with that information? And how long is that going to be real? And if it changes, do we really want to do that? Do we want to wait and give them a little more time? And so every day we have these conversations, and you try to make the best decisions you can.
Coach Doran and the Pack roll with the news as it flows in. Big defensive tackle Katron Evans remains eligible as his standing was part of an unrelated issue. Wolfpack Sports Today continues next.
It's bow time. It's not just football season. It's tailgate season, and that includes every kind of football, whether it's got goalkeepers or goalposts. The kick is good! Because it doesn't matter where or how you tailgate. When you've got crispy chicken and fluffy buttermilk biscuits from Bojangles, your tailgate is better than great. It's legendary. Head to Bojangles and order your tailgate box with boldly seasoned chicken, fixins, biscuits, and legendary iced tea today. It's bow time.
Wolfpack Weekly with Dave Dorans tonight at 6 p.m. Offensive line coach Garrett Touge joins the show. This is the Wolfpack Sports Network from Learfield.
You've been listening to Wolfpack Sports Today, your daily look inside NC State athletics. Wolfpack Sports Today is a Learfield presentation of the Wolfpack Sports Network.
Today we tip our wrench to Rock Auto customer Jeremy.
I've been a RockAuto.com customer for over 15 years, and now even my kids order their parts there. Prices are always far lower than the local auto parts store. Selection is massive, and the site makes it unbelievably easy to find exactly what we need. Every order shows up fast, and the quality is always top tier. RockAuto.com has earned my trust for life, and I highly recommend them.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader. Presentation of the Wolfpack Sports Network. This is Wolfpack Weekly with Dave Doran.